podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.
Good afternoon, everybody.
332. Ian Loring. I'm drinking Heineken out of Bond-themed Heineken cans.
I was literally about to say, is that the new Bond? And then realised, well, there'd be some really old cans of beer if it wasn't, wouldn't they?
Yeah, this was the promotional cans for Octopussy.
How do they taste? Foisty.
Like pussy.
Oh, that's great. We've got a bit of a bumper show actually this week, don't we? It's that time of year where there seems to be an awful lot for us to chat about. Week in, week out.
So for some reason, we're going to be reviewing The Grudge.
Yeah, so as Ian says there, we're reviewing the latest Grudge, which is like a sequel.
It is, yeah.
Sequelabout. And we're also going to chat the personal history of David Copperfield, and we're going to do some Parasite chat, and we have our latest Patron pick, which is 24-Hour Party People. Excuse me. We're probably not going to get a game to any what we've been watching because we've got more packed shows, but we'll just have to do a big bump of what we've been watching at some point soon. And we're also going to do our end of year lists, but we're not going to do like an in-depth, I don't think, end of year list. We're going to kind of just sort of quickly go through it because fuck it, we've made them. Let's do it.
Yeah.
If there's anything that crops up in that we go, oh, that's quite interesting there, we can put that through. So we'll get to that at some point during the show. Ian, is there any news we need to chat about, or?
I don't know. It's just it's award season, isn't it? So which is interesting because it kind of feels like no one knows which way the wind is blowing, which is quite exciting. At the moment, legitimately, 1917, Parasite, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood could all win Best Picture. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be anything else now, but it kind of feels like all three of them could.
It is. It does seem to be a little bit of an odd awards season in the sense that what seems to have happened a little bit is I don't want to use Hollywood, but the filmmaking community have seemed to a little bit this year go, no, do you know what? We're sick of having to pussyfoot around working out whether or not we're allowed to do this or this or this. and I've gone, could we all, a group of us, decide to kind of enjoy it and celebrate it? For instance, did you see, I think it was the SAG Awards, did you see Joaquin Phoenix's speech?
Mm.
So Joaquin Phoenix is somebody who has famously previously struggled with awards things. He doesn't get it. And he's occasionally been quite prickly about awards season, doesn't think he should be awarded for art, but has softened as he's got older and can kind of see the ideas behind it now.
Yeah.
There. But when he won at SAG, he won Best Actor, obviously. He basically used it to say how much he admired each other person that he was up against. And it was really quite nice.
Yeah.
To see somebody going up there and just going, you're great in this, and I've always loved you in this. And it's that thing of, it's nice when you watch people who do this for a living and you realise, oh yeah, they might actually love movies too.
Yeah.
Sorry about Nick. But there's been, it's been an award season that seems to be, they seem to want to get wrapped up and kind of go, right, well, there we go, that's all done. Can we release some film now?
Yeah. It's does seem, I don't know, maybe it's just that I'm more out of the loop than usual, but it seems strangely muted.
Yeah.
It's weird because it's so condensed that everything is happening on such a tight schedule that it almost feels like that's happened, and then 2 days later that's happened, and 2 days later that's happened, and it's almost like which one did they make that speech at, and which one did they say that thing at, and fucking hell, 2 weeks time it's over, and it's not even the end of January yet.
Yeah, it's still baffling my mind that the Oscars are in 2 weeks today. Is it 2 weeks today?
Yeah, it's 2 weeks today. It's the BAFTAs a week today and the Oscars the week after.
Yeah, that's kind of wrecking my head a little bit, to be honest. It's really odd that it's that early.
Yeah, and I mean it'll be back to normal next year, but I know it's kind of like the film Twitter press are kind of all over the place, because usually they would do Sundance, then kind of launch into the end of the award season, but they're kind of having to do both this time. So it's like not all the usual ones are going to Sundance, and that's weird as well. It's like Sundance is on, and you could be looking at films that are going to be in awards contention next year. To be fair, I don't think there will be, given the sound of some of them. The film based on a Twitter thread is blowing my fucking mind.
What's that one?
It's called Zola, which A24 have got. Isn't that a shock? A film based on a Twitter thread, A24 have it. I very much like A24, but for the poster, their logo is literally at the top of the poster. It says A24 presents, and it is a little calm down.
Aren't they the ones responsible for Midsummer?
Oh yeah. They're they built Ari Aster, so well done then. We're going to be talking about Midsummer later on. By the way, on our list.
Well, that's interesting. Very interesting. It's I don't know. It does seem a little bit like this year. There's certain elements of it where you're going, all right, I want to have a bit more fun now. I want to get. I don't want to be told off for liking a certain movie just because other people don't like it. It's weird, and it's just I don't know. There's an element of I've kind of found myself in a weird way, because I've started using Letterboxd a lot more. I've used it always, but I've started actually paying attention to it a little bit more there. And I've developed a new thing where if somebody follows me on Letterboxd, I used to automatically just go back and re-follow them because it's a polite thing to do with something like that.
Yeah.
But now I've started looking at their where it has the little bar where it puts their average ratings thing, and if the bar's higher for which one of they've rated, use that rating. And if their ratings are 3 or below are the higher bars, I'm like, I'm not going to follow you because you just don't like movies.
Mm.
That's the simple fact there.
It's
just that. It's just you just don't like movies. So I don't care.
Solid stance.
For that, and I don't see why. Basically, because at the moment I just put that I've watched the film on Letterboxd. I don't actually review it or anything like that. And I am thinking about the idea of limiting myself to like 20-word reviews on Letterboxd, stuff like that. Just something a bit fun.
Yeah.
For that, something like that.
It has to get fun again. I'm so sick of everyone arguing about everything. Like, you could literally, with the exception of like perhaps Little Women, there's people moaning about every single Best Picture nominee.
Yeah. I mean, I think Parasite has maybe slightly gone a little bit too in the other direction.
Yeah.
But that's fine because it's Parasite. It's directed by Bong Joon-ho. It's South Korean and it's good. So yeah. I'm all right with that. But
I think we'll get more into that idea when we actually talk about the film. In a way.
Yeah.
I think into what you're getting at.
Yeah.
On that, certainly. Trailers.
None. I have literally not watched a single one. I have been watching an awful lot of making of type stuff of the new Doom game, and that's all I've been fucking watching on YouTube this week.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I'm so annoyed that you have not played Doom yet.
I promise you I am going to. I will get through this, what has seemed like the longest January in history, and then I will get to it. I think we've watched a couple, haven't we?
Yeah, not huge amounts though.
No. Irresistible.
No.
I will watch it. I'll probably go watch it on like a Wednesday morning at the cinema if it's available. Just because it looks fun.
Who are they calling Irresistible?
Irresistible. It's a John Stewart movie with Steve Carell. Who else is in it? Mackenzie Davis is in there. Rose Byrne lit Steve Carell's face. Chris Cooper. It's where they. It's about Steve Carell plays like a political. You say he is campaigner. Coordinator, yeah. Who is trying to essentially get a moderate Republican to become popular. And they pick Chris Cooper because he's a Republican, but who also has quite moderate views on things like...
He's an ex-Marine who's like got relatively liberal views for ex-Marine Republican.
Yeah, so they decide to try and sort of use him as being, right, we can get a more moderate presence back in the Republican Party. And Rose Byrne plays the opposite of him, doesn't she? Mm-hmm. She plays your archetypal right-wing nut job. Yeah, that looks quite interesting. Is there any others that we need to talk about, Bex?
That Bavarian, but if Ian's not seen it.
No, I meant to catch this, the Jesse Eisenberg and Imogen Poots one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I meant to watch that before the show and I didn't get around to it. Does it look good though?
It looks like a Black Mirror episode.
Oh, all
yes,
right, great.
It does actually, yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah, it looks fine.
Okay.
It looks.
It looks like if it's anything more than 94 minutes, I'll be bored.
I'm looking forward to giving that a sweet 3.5 on Letterboxd.
literally, it is. It's what I'll say there is I would be very surprised if it gets a 4 on your Letterboxd, but I won't be that surprised if you go, it's probably a 3.
Yeah.
But I'll give it an extra half because it's got Poodle.
I mean, I do love the Pooter, but she's got some making up to do.
She has got some making up to do. I don't trust her anymore.
I have trust issues with the Poots, yes.
But the thing, it could be good. The premise sounds quite interesting. It looks relatively, more it sounds intriguing than it looks intriguing, but it's just a shitty trailer. It's
not a good trailer now. It does seem like literally like you watched the trailer and went, okay, cool, so that's the whole movie.
Mm.
Yeah, there was a little bit of element of that. So fuck it. Let's do it. We're done with trailers. Let's move into the first of our films.
Are we doing this one first?
We are begrudgingly doing this one first. So The Grudge is a 2012 movie.
It's not a 2012 movie.
It's not a 2012 movie.
What's wrong with you today?
I don't know. I've had an odd week with this thing, haven't I?
Oh God, baby horses.
You'd explain the baby horse thing.
No, we'll do it later. I'll save it.
Oh, I need a work thing. You have to introduce it.
Oh God. Okay.
Your husband told me about your condition, and I'm here to see if I can help. Mrs. Matheson, are you all right? Peekaboo! Who are you playing with?
My friend.
And what's your friend's name? Melinda? Is she here with us now?
Oh, what the fuck, dear. Okay, Bex, The Grudge. What was The Grudge about?
Okay, so The Grudge is a 2020 sort of reboot / sequel to the original Grudge series. Directed by Nicholas, is it Pesci?
Pesci, yeah, let's go with that.
Sort of notably produced by Sam Raimi. That's been on all the kind of advertising stuff, hasn't it?
Yep.
Got a few recognisable people in there. You've got obviously Andrew Riseborough's in there, John Cho, Lin Shaye, who I always get like a little feeling of glee when I see her turn up on screen.
Yeah.
Jackie Weaver, Demian
Bashir, yeah.
And Betty Gilpin, basically dealing with the curse in the original Japanese movies, hopping its way over to America and wreaking havoc. Yeah,
I would say so. Yeah, I would say it's wreaking some of the havoc.
It's trying to wreak havoc.
It's trying to wreak havoc. It wreaks something.
Andrea Riseborough's undercut wreaked havoc with your mind.
Oh, I will get to the Riseborough undercut. I will get to the fucking Riseborough.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So, who should we go with first? Ian, I'm going to go with you because you seem like you need to get something off your chest with this movie.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate you letting us do this first because I just want to talk about it and then forget about it. The Grudge does reek. Yes, it does. What a fucking piece of shit this is. My word.
Just pause a second there. Becky, what did I say to you as we were going down the long escalator after we'd seen The Grudge?
Oh, I can't remember, babe, exactly. It was an eventful night last night at the cinema, wasn't it?
It was an eventful night at the cinema, yes. We'll get to that again later. I might have said to Becky, in fact, I did say these exact words to Becky, I will be surprised if I see a film as bad as that for the rest of this year.
The feeling was mutual in the audience because the one kind of interesting thing this film does is right at the end with the, Andrea Riseborough getting fucking killed or possessed or whatever, shocker. Then it cuts to the outside and it's really peaceful. The credits start with no music and there's no music for a couple minutes. People around me were all just going, that was fucking shit. Was that was really bad? Wasn't it bad? Yeah, it was bad. One girl behind me was getting very confused about the fact there was no music. She was just like, why is it so quiet? And like the guy next with her was just like, I don't know. And so like everybody was kind of still sat there because you do kind of half expect something to fucking happen. And then the music started, and then she's like, oh yeah, okay, start the music when everybody's gonna walk out. Yeah, clever. And it was just like, yeah, do you know what? You kind of were starting with some stupid commentary, but yeah, like just fucking why? Just why to any of it? Why? why the fuck did they bother making it? You got this Nicholas Pesci, whatever guy, who, people seem to like.
Oh, is it that guy?
Yeah. And he co-wrote it and directed it. And then it's just this. It's the key fucking thing I hated about it was at no point did you ever get a sense that anyone was ever actually going to win against it in the end. It was pointless. It was the Grudge comes over to that house. Anyone who goes into that house is fucked for 93 minutes. The end. It was almost like it was trolling at one point where you had Frankie Faison talking about how he thought that the house was it was comforting that he could see them. And it was like, okay, that's interesting. And talking about like, it kind of shows that the walls between this world and the afterlife are broken down. Okay, nice. And you get like the first happy music for the entire thing. And then the very next scene, it's Jackie Weaver discovering Frankie Faison killed and Lynn Shay chopping her own fucking fingers off. And it's like, and it's just Pesci going like, look how clever I am. I can make fucking dark shit, can't I? Look how dark it is. Even when I give you some hope, I yank it away. Yeah, all right then, Nicholas Pesci. But if you're so clever, don't have a fucking scene where a woman who's just been found like in a house by herself with a fucking rotting corpse husband, freely walking around a hospital. Oh, hi, Mrs. Matheson. Like, literally people walking past. Hi, Mrs. Matheson.
Yeah, Bex literally turned around at me and said, I'm sorry, during the movie, by the way, there was hardly anybody in our screening. I knew the two people who were in it had basically given up watching it and were just having a conversation by this point. Bex turned around at me and said, why did just let her just walk around? She's just murdered her husband.
And she's clearly mad. She'd be under more security than that.
It's.
She makes a good splat, though.
Oh, I mean, yes, the splat was The thing is, if there was some fun stuff like that, because, in a purely lizard brain sense, watching that splat is like, oh, bloody hell. Have some more of that. But no, you've got this fucking dour, nihilistic. No, I mean, fuck off with the scene where John Cho kills Betty Gilpin. Fuck off. That, I mean, just like the whole. Sorry, Mark, I know you wanted to say something, but I've just got to. Like, the whole subplot with, like, their baby having ALS. And then, like. So, yeah, there you go. And then, like, they have the heartfelt conversation about, I just thinking about this baby and I love it so much. And he's just like, I'm so happy you said that. And then 5 minutes later, you've got him fucking murdering her. It just, what? I mean, okay, great. We get it. The film's dark. You don't have to do that. It, like, this film can go fuck itself. And Nicholas Pesci is a twat.
Fair enough.
Bex.
Well, I didn't hate it when we came out of it. I haven't hated it, but then I did just watch The Grudge the other night, the proper one, and I like the mythos behind the stories. Like I like that, and the curse lives within the building that the horrible thing happens in, and then spreads like a fucking virus. I like that.
You were heavily into the Asian cinema explosion, though, weren't you, that happened in the early 90s?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, and I think this one, after obviously the American remake was really disappointing. It was just really, really derivative, and this at least tried to do something different. And obviously it comes back from Japan with her, and then it kind of the roles within her household get kind of gender swapped, in that she's the one that does the violent thing, and then her husband and daughter are the wife and Toshi out of the Japanese ones.
Yeah.
So I quite like that element of it. they were very gory. The husband was very gory, wasn't he? I don't remember them being that gory in the Japanese ones. They were just pale. But then you've got this whole film where the ghosts themselves don't really hurt anybody. They just possess and then cause the possessed person to hurt. Well, no, that's not true, is it? Because Jackie Weaver.
Well, it doesn't hurt her. It scares her into running off the road.
Yeah, but then as the camera pans away from the car, there's a big splat of blood that goes up against the window.
Oh, I honestly didn't notice that. Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
But I don't know. It's just I can kind of see what it's tried to do, and I think I've maybe given it more breathing space for being shit than it deserved because I like the stuff behind it.
Fair enough.
No, I mean, yeah, and I will say, I think that the construction of the film is interesting. Like, the fact that Andrea Riseborough is kind of like, she's not involved in the case to start with, and then she kind of gets drawn into it, and it's like examining stuff from years before. And like, that's, yeah, all right, fair enough. That's kind of interesting. But no, just the way it goes about it and how derivative it is. Like, there's not a single jump scare there that even slightly got me. And I remember Ju-on the Grudge freaking me the fuck out.
I was sat watching it the other night. You've gone to bed because you weren't feeling very well, haven't you?
Yeah.
So I was watching it the other night on my own downstairs, and I'd gone into the kitchen to get myself a cup of tea, come back into the living room, left the kitchen door open, and then off our kitchen there's like French door type things, and they're into the back garden. And obviously it was dark in the kitchen and dark outside. And when she starts fucking clicking her way down the bloody stairs,
Yeah.
I daren't look behind me in case there was something there. And then when it got to a sort of bit more of a breezy bit, I had to get up and shut the door, but like without looking through the kitchen. It is really scary. Even now, even when it's been parodied and stuff as much as it has. And you know, obviously it's from donkeys years ago, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean I used to be able to do it really well. That you know, like that's great. It's barely in this new one. It's like I don't know. And again, it's almost like Pesci went, "Fuck that stuff. I know what's scary. No, you don't."
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't want to jump in front of you about
No, that's fine. You can talk about Andrea Riseborough's undercut and jumpers now.
Right. So, Andrea Riseborough is a detective. By the way, I really like Andrea Riseborough as an actress. I think she's great.
You like her for one fucking reason, that's her hair colour.
No, I like her because I think she's really good in a lot of things.
Is she? What?
What? She's great in Oblivion.
Yeah, she is pretty good in Oblivion.
Was it Tom Cruise movie?
Yeah.
You pulling her face so she got her tits out, wasn't it?
No.
No.
She doesn't. I'm not just all about boobs, you know. But yeah, I really like Andrea Riseborough. But in this movie, she's a detective who is clearly supposed to be in her, mid 30s to early 40s, we'll say, right? Now, what set off massive alarm bells for me for this movie?
Can I just say before you get into full plot, I knew Ian would have a problem with the pregnant lady getting killed.
Oh, yeah.
I knew you would have a problem with that.
But
It's the fact. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Okay, it's the fact that it's like they've just had this heartfelt stuff about how they've decided to keep the baby. It's just like, come on now, man. Like, just have her be pregnant.
Anyway, sorry, go on. Sorry.
I mean, I'd rather not pregnant, to be fair, but you know, it's such a fucking cheap fuck.
you're
sorry.
right. It's just a little bit like it's
a bit misery porny.
It's not even that. It's a little bit like, grow up.
It's fucking desperate, is what it is.
Yes, that's exactly the word. Yeah. So we watched. We didn't have it. We'd only watched we were 20 minutes off the end of the turning when the alarm went off in the cinema we were watching it in. Literally, really odd. So I'll go to that bit very quickly and we can move on that bit. Watch the turning, which was fine. It was fine. It was good enough that I want to know what happens in the end. Maybe not quite bad enough that not quite good enough that I am desperate to see what happened at the end.
Yeah. Intriguing enough though.
Literally, the screen just went off. The lights came up and this alarm just started beeping, and then everyone sort of looked at each other and just went, "That a fire alarm?" And then a recorded voice thing and said, "There is an incident. Please leave via the nearest exit."
An incident has occurred that requires us to evacuate the building. Please leave via your nearest emergency exit.
Yeah.
God.
Which
it was just terrifying.
Yeah, so we left and got out, didn't we? And
so we're about stairs.
Yeah, we seemed to go down the long. So we went out by the fire escape rather than going through the building because we had no idea what was going on. But of course, the whole place is still under construction because it's part of a big stadium and shopping plaza and bits like that.
Yeah.
So we were just going down like this. It's fully constructed, but it's not fully painted or anything like that, and it's just got stick-on signs on. We're going downstairs for what seemed to be forever.
So when you go in at our Cineworld, you go up an escalator, don't you? But it's not like a huge, ridiculous escalator.
Big escalator.
It's long, but it's not. But then when we were going down the stairs, it was. I said to Mark today, it was like being. When you're playing a computer game and then you're like, hang on a second, the dimensions of this building don't add up properly.
Yeah.
It was like that. We went further down the stairs than we'd gone up the escalator.
I kept thinking that Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Elaine Page were going to walk past me going the other way at one point. Inception.
Yeah.
Did you say Elaine Page? Because that's a different film.
Yes, it is. Ellen Page. Yeah, look at that. Just going to Elaine Page. Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
just singing memories together. It's better than Cats.
Well, JJ can sing and dance.
He can. So, right. But my point about the turning was, one thing that was, Mackenzie Davis in it is wearing a wig, isn't she? Clearly, it's not her real hair, it's a wig. And because of time setting and everything like that, you watch it going, we get it, it's supposed to look a little bit grungy and like Courtney Love's hair at the time. Get that, right? Now, they have taken time in that movie to put her in a wig because she would have had the short hair that she had for Terminator.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, whether or not it's Andrea Riseborough's own hair that she's decided to have a massive undercut going around it, or whether it's for a film role, theatre role, or something that she's done, that hair isn't normal for the character she's playing. And they couldn't even be asked to put a fucking wig on her.
No, Mark, I will also point out, when they leave the cafe, the thing on the door just says business hours, and there are no hours.
Yeah, it's...
That's the care and attention paid.
But that's it. And you've got... I'm looking at the poster right now, and the poster is the back of Johnny Show's head with the hand thing.
Johnny Show? What is wrong?
I don't know.
You're going to bed early.
I'm very tired. With the hand
John
thing.
Show.
Yeah, right. Which is like an iconic thing from the Grudge movies. Is the weird fucking shower head hand thing.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Literally blink and you'll fucking miss it.
Absolutely.
It's literally like Nicolas Pesci has gone, do I have to have that bit in? They've gone, yes, you have to have it. It's like, but I don't think it's scary. It's gone, you've got to have it in. It's going to be on the poster. It's going to be a trailer. You've got to have it there. And he's gone, fine. But it's happened in the first 25 minutes, and basically it's going to be like a quick. There's going to be no ceremony about it at all. And then it was just boring.
Yeah, it was.
It was really, really boring, and it makes you look at it and go, right. So the guy was Damien Bichir was investigating the happenings of the house and the murders.
Yeah. Right.
But he wouldn't go in the house. Right.
Yeah, they never explained that. It's just I had a feeling.
Yeah. No. Surely, an angry police captain, possibly played by Joey Pants, should have said, "Go in the fucking house, or you're off the case." Right, I'm off the case. Right, cool. Shut it down. You go in the house. There's just so much that is
that what he's credited as?
What?
Trivia Man.
I mean, I think that's the only thing you could credit the Trivia Man as. Yeah, it was. What was with the big jumpers?
Yeah, that was a weird one.
It was.
I said to you, didn't I, after it? I kept thinking they were going to explain it as like it was like her dead husband's jumpers and she wore it to feel like he was still close or something. But no, they just had her wandering around in massive
no. There's blatantly a 2.5 hour director's cut here that Nicolas Pesce really wanted to release where they have that.
You said this, didn't you?
Yeah, that illiterate game coming down the escalator, the massive long escalator. I said to Beck, there is a director's cut of this movie where a lot more gets explained because this is a hack job of the highest order.
Like if it actually turns out that he's like he washes his hands of the film and goes, "That's not my movie," then I take back the twat remark and, let's have a look at it. But yeah, it's just the most fucking derivative, but really just mean fucking thing.
No. Nicolas Pesce wants to do another one.
Why?
Different parts of the world other than America or Japan, and in a different, less contemporary time period compared to the previous movies.
Well, so more people can walk into a house, but and die. But this time, there's no modern fucking cars about. Yeah, fucking well done.
That strikes a little bit of Nicolas Pesce has decided. Do you know what? I can be the new Grudge guy. I can have all these different Grudge movies and bits like that. Or Nicolas Pesce has been at home, got a bit baked, watched the third Ginger Snaps movie and gone, I could do the Grudge with that.
Fucking, I tell you what, if he wants to make Grudge films for the rest of his fucking career, great, because I know what pieces of shit not to watch.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm definitely shit on it. I was watching it going, I feel sorry for everybody in this.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It's a shame because the performances themselves aren't bad.
No, they're not.
Andrea Riseborough's good in it. Is Demi Bashir the other cop? He's good in it. John Cho's good in it. Lynn Shea's good in it.
Jackie Weaver is woefully underused.
Yeah.
When you've got somebody who can do what Jackie Weaver's doing in this, but can literally in a scene turn and be quite chilling and quite terrifying, really.
Yeah.
She's a brilliant actress, is Jackie Weaver, but she can do that in a fucking look and then a change in her voice. She can do that, and I was thinking she's gonna do that at some point, and they don't. They just have her as slightly balmy old lady.
It just her being possessed by one of them because she was in the house.
Yeah, but it does feel like it's such an underused cast.
It just screams of Pesci going, I want to work with these people, and these people go like basically like they are good actors, but to be fair, they are also jobbing actors. They probably, it's a Sony-backed film. They probably got paid pretty well. Like it's, they would have got a better payday from this than the other indie films they've done over the last year. So why not? And this is it. It's fucking hell, man. If I see a worse film this year, I'll be fuming.
Yeah, where are you at, Bex?
Touching cloth.
Are you touching cloth with that?
It's not shit for me. I got enough out of it. I like films where a large chunk of it is cop finds out backstory and all this kind of shit comes to light. I like that in a film. So
I got you got at least something out of it.
No. I mean, fair play. It's just it really annoyed me, and a film hasn't done that to me in a while. Actually, my number one worst film of the year that we'll talk about in a bit did, but yeah.
Cool. Well, before that, I forgot to put out polls today. I thought I had, but I haven't.
Silly rabbit.
Before that, shall we chat some more positive film?
This narrative is far more than mere fiction.
Are you David Copperfield?
I am indeed.
It is the true story of the life I was about to lead.
Your mama is ill.
How ill is she?
Very ill. Dangerously ill. She's dead. We're very sorry.
You don't even do it.
I do. The personal history of David Copperfield is written and directed by Armando Iannucci and stars, well, it's a hell of a cast. Dev Patel, Tilda Swinton, Hugh Laurie, Peter Capaldi, Ben Whishaw, Paul Whitehouse, Daisy May Cooper, Benedict Wong, Gwendoline Christie, and a lot of that guy from that thing kind of people in there. What is the story? It is the life of David Copperfield.
Yeah.
You know, and how he goes from being born into wealth to then going into poverty to then wealth and poverty and the quirky characters he collects along the way.
Now, I've not read the book of this. Have you?
Yeah, a long amount of years ago.
Have you, Ian?
No.
It'd be interesting to know how. Obviously, it's heavily adapted, but how much of the story is the story in the book?
Yeah, when I say a long time ago, I mean like probably 30 years ago.
Yeah, I've not seen any of the adaptations or anything.
Yeah. So what did you think, Bex?
I really, really enjoyed this. It's done in such a clever way. Him narrating his own kind of life as a child, just the little sort of quirks that are in it. Sort of when he's doing flashbacky type stuff, it's just great, and the story's good. The cast as a whole are great. The batshit characters are good. Hugh Laurie's like adorable in it, and I'm not normally like a big Hugh Laurie kind of person, but he's just like when he sort of gives him the idea for the kite, and he's like, oh my god, this is amazing. It's just so kind of lovely and touching that it's a nice, gentle, fun movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Ian, what was your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty much there as well, actually. I thought it was a bit of a treat. It's nice to see Iannucci going for something that is just nice. He's after the death of Stalin, which we talked about not long ago because it was a Patron review, which is quite. It's a funny film, but it's quite caustic and it dark as well. So to see this, PG rated, gentle comedy, has its moments of drama, but mainly just wants to please its audience. I thought it was good.
What is the deal with the donkeys?
I fucking loved that. Just like that running joke, and just when he gets into it as well, when he's fucking running out banging the saucepan, that's great. I think that there's almost too much content for the runtime. It's quite scattershot. Like, it just realizes that it has to wrap up quite a few plot threads towards the end. And it feels like if the film were a little bit longer, that probably wouldn't have hurt. And I do think that the David Agnes kind of romantic thing is not that well done. You get the sparks between them, but the way Dora is literally written out of the story was odd to me. And I haven't read the source material, but I wonder if that was done more elegantly in the source material, if it was done at all. But saying all that, I thought it was a treat. My audience were into it. Really, like it was about half full for an 11 a.m. showing this morning, which was nice. I really liked it, and it's kind of a shame that it hasn't seemed to figure too much in award season, because I think Dev Patel would have been good for it.
Yeah, I think I'd echo, but I think I was probably less into it than you guys, but I was still I found it a lot of fun. It did get a little bit too scattergun for me towards the middle.
It's fair.
Where it was going a little bit too. I felt a little bit like I was watching, going, right, you've just got too much going on now.
A lot of threads.
That it's. I was thinking someone's going to irritate me by saying, "Oh, it would have worked better as like a little mini series," and it's like, then I wouldn't have watched it.
No, I mean, just stick an extra half hour on. I would watch this for 2.5 hours, no problem.
Yeah, that's the thing. I would quite happily as well. I like the fact that all the characters are very into it. Everyone's what is it? But nobody's trying to outshine anybody else.
Yeah,
they're all pretty much kind of on a level. No one's going right. Well, I'm going to go. If we're all a little bit eccentric and a little bit manic, right? I'm going to go really eccentric and really manic because that'll make me stand out. Everyone does the right balance of it all.
Which, given certain people that are in this, could have happened quite easily.
Yeah, it could have happened quite easily. But it also was quite a nice film to watch. And I completely agree. I thought Dev Patel was fantastic. I think Dev Patel's usually great at things anyway. But I don't know, he's getting a more of a presence and a gravitas to his what is it? He seems to be. He seems to very much be a man who's very confident in his own acting now.
The bit where Hugh Laurie and Peter Capaldi got to play off each other was funny.
Yeah.
Accordion.
Yeah. Bits like that were really good, but it did feel a little bit like it was going.
Got a lot of plates to spin.
Yeah, it does, and a few too many of them were spinning, and I was going, I just don't care about that. You can get rid of that.
But they all feed in at the end.
They all feed in at the end, but it did feel a little bit.
I mean, it just, in all fairness, the whole bit with his posh mate running away with Emily, I think her name was, that it does all feed in, but that is introduced relatively late into the film, and it's like, could they have maybe either taken that out and focused on other things, or just made the film longer? It felt like its focus wasn't necessarily in the right places. Like, I thought the Uriah Heep thread was well done. He's kind of laced through the film, but not so much him and Agnes, not so much that relationship towards the end. But then again, the way it all comes together at the end with like that garden party celebrating his book, and just the fact that so many people were in his life and he touched those people and those people touched him, it's a really lovely send-off, which I think negates my issues with how scattergun the third act is.
Yeah, I could agree with that. It has a satisfactory payoff. I would have granted, what is it, but it didn't leave me going. It managed to grab all the threads at the end.
One thing that did bother me a little bit while I was watching it was when all these people from these separate parts of his life met up with each other at the end, and they all knew each other already. That kind of took me out of it a little bit.
Yeah, there was a little bit of that. Yeah.
When Peggotty, comes in and they're in London, they're looking for Em, and she's like, "Oh, hi, Peter Capaldi's character, hi, Hugh Laurie's character," and like they would have not met each other.
You might have met Hugh Laurie's character.
I mean, there's an element of artifice about the whole thing, though, isn't there? Yeah. So, just like I will throw it a bone for all the characters who are connected with him, just kind of almost instinctively knowing each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying it bothered me, but it was the one bit that kind of made me go, meh.
She does appear. She does appear out of fucking nowhere as well, though.
Yeah, she does. The Dora thing that you said about, I actually quite liked that, because where she started off like, write me out of your story, and then she sort of has this moment of self-awareness of like, no, this isn't right. Write me out of your story, like meaning out of his life. And I actually quite liked that. The one thing that bothered me about Dora was the fact that it was the same actress playing her and his mother. That weirded me out of it.
Oh, fucking hell, it was.
So it is the same actress?
That played...
I just thought they looked really alike.
No, it 100% is. Yeah, she was in his Dark Materials lately as well. She's been popping up in a few things. It kind of feels like in a few years time she's going to be a Carey Mulligan or something. That's really disconcerting, actually, isn't it?
It's a bit weird, isn't it? I mean, I know there's this whole kind of the whole principle of like the important woman in his life that he lost and blah blah blah, and he's replacing her or whatever. I some kind of weird Freudian shit. I don't know. Is it Freudian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oedipal. That's it. But like,
I don't think it's quite Oedipal.
maybe.
I don't think it's quite Oedipal.
Maybe not to fuck his mother.
I don't think it's fair, babe.
But yeah, it was an odd choice to have that because it was never made anything of.
No. But yeah, no, I really was quite taken with it. It's a fun 2 hours.
Mm.
But I was watching going, it's an awful lot of 2 hours.
I'm back quick.
Yeah.
There's a lot in there.
There is a
Don't
lot
have time
in
to
there.
get bored.
No, still bored, just a little bit. That point.
I love Fury.
I will say it felt 2 hours to me, but not that it was long, just that it was dense. It was like one of the heavy cakes.
Yeah.
There's so many funny bits in it. Like when you think back over it, there's so many really good bits.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely not shit on it.
Oh,
Yeah, definitely not shit.
just the whole thing with Benedict Wong trying to get the wine and just kind of like looking at it, it goes away, and then Hugh Laurie just fucking like steams in and just opens it up. It's brilliant.
It was actually the bit was the housekeeper Jenny just trying to wheel it out.
It's rattling.
And it's just rattling as she dragged it out. Was one of the best kind of visual gags in the entire thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Are you a craft beer junkie? Do you eagerly anticipate the freshest IPA release from your local craft brewer?
Do you check in every beer you've ever had on Untappd?
Do you know the difference between a Belgian triple and a Berliner Weisse?
Then do we have a podcast for you? What's Untappd podcast gives you beer reviews, interviews with brewers, behind the scenes access to beer festivals, games, and more. Whether you're a craft beer junkie or new to the world of craft brewing, What's Untappd podcast is something for you.
Check us out online, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and now we are podsyndicate.com. And as always, keep drinking, you dum-dums.
The Mulberry Boys, every Friday night. On the show, you better know they keep it tight. ETL is back and the J-Strom's in the zone. Introduce the co-host, he doesn't do it alone. PCZ is about to hold court. You know he's on the headset, you can hear him snort. Pop culture, movies, TV shows, and games. Rotten Tomatoes, reviews, news, and Blu-rays. Foggy don't play around, he will bust a drop pass. Welcome to the Entertainment Landfill Podcast, the Jason and Steven Show. It's the Jason and Steven Show. What? The Jason and Steven Show. It's the Jason and Steven Show.
Sorry, Lottie just came up to deliver me chocolate buttons.
Nice. Good delivery.
And now she's getting me a beer. I expect to get invoiced by Donna shortly.
Did you settle the previous one?
No, it goes into a Disneyland account or something, doesn't it?
No, it was settled in Loving. I don't know. That was weird.
Oh, that TV. That TV went off. Yes, so, lists.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Let's do it.
Let's do lists. Yeah. So we've done 2 movies. We've got 2 movies left to do. It seems like the appropriate place to do it.
It does.
So
are we just rattling unless we've got specific shit to say?
I would say that. I would say we each do our 10s to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Yeah.
Then
Thank
we'll
you,
do
Little
our,
Ross, can you pop this in the recycling for me?
surprises.
Actually, sorry guys, 2 ticks. I'm just going to drink this and then Lottie can put it in the recycling.
Yeah. And then we'll do 5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah.
Then we'll do our worst, and then we'll do our favourite. Okay. You all right with that?
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, that's all good.
Right. So who wants to go first?
What list? What list are we doing first?
We're gonna do.
We're gonna do 10 through 6 of best, and then what?
We're 10 through 6 of best. Then we'll do surprises and disappointments. Then we'll do 5 to 2s, worst, and then we'll do all our number ones.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, I'm happy to go first.
Go first.
Okay, so my number 10 was Parasite.
All right.
Which obviously we'll talk about later. My number 9 was John Wick 3.
Yep.
My number 8 was The Gift That Keeps On Giving, Knives Out. My number 7 was Irishman. And my number 6 was Star Wars. Which I know you don't agree with Star Wars being higher than The Irishman, but I got more out of it.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, you did the other day, and then you were like, actually, yeah, maybe for you, and looked really disappointed in me.
No, you said, can I really put Star Wars above The Irishman? And I said, no. And then I said, but then again, you did see it twice at the cinema and you did enjoy it, so you could, yes. I think that was what I actually said. Ian, what is your 10 to 6?
So my number 10 is Joker. My number 9 is Dolomite Is My Name. My number 8, Uncut Gems. My number 7, The Farewell. And my number 6 is Burning.
Cool. Oh, I bet you mine that.
Probably a good idea.
I thought that's something to do with something else, then I thought, oh, I should probably do mine. My number 10 is Doctor Sleep. My number 9 is Just Mercy. My number 8 is...
2020 movie.
I saw it before I made my list. My number 8 is Under the Silver Lake.
Nice.
My number 7 is Dragged Across Concrete. That could go up on future viewings, to be honest. And my number 6 is Ad Astra.
Okay.
Nice.
Becky, what were your disappointments?
Okay, so these aren't necessarily films that I think are bad.
Yeah, they're just films that you're disappointed in, yeah.
Endgame. This is in no particular order. I haven't ordered them.
Wow.
I can't.
You put it in order?
No, because I don't know. It's fluxy. All right, okay. Endgame.
Number 5.
He's not number 5. Fuck off. Endgame. Us. Little Monsters. Oh god, I can't remember what that stands for. UCR. Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil and Vile. And Guava Island.
They're your disappointments?
Yeah.
Ian, what were your disappointments?
Not entirely sure Guava Island's a film.
Technically it is.
How long is it?
I don't know.
74 minutes.
All right, I'll give you it.
Thanks, Ian.
Yeah, you're welcome.
What were your disappointments?
My number 5 was High Life. Robert Pattinson in space with sex-crazed Juliette Binoche should have been...
Yeah, I didn't know that was that movie, and now I want to watch it now.
I didn't know that was that movie.
I don't know.
It's like a sex box thing.
What? Yeah. Oh, mate, yeah. To be fair, you need to see High Life.
Properly up your street. That's why I didn't understand why you weren't more keen for it. Anyway.
No, it's actually, yeah. Now, yeah, I think it is called the sex box or something like that. Yeah, you need to see High Life, Mark.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that this week now, I think.
It's. I mean, I actually didn't think it was a bad film. It's just that fucking log line should really be film of the fucking century.
Yeah.
And it's not. So there you go. Number 4 most disappointing, Gemini Man. You know, like it. I was almost like thinking almost future of action cinema shit with this, like in concept, not necessarily marketing. And then it was just a very run-of-the-mill action film with some fucking awful CG at the end of it, and seeing it in high frame rate was disconcerting. I kind of want to give it another go though. But yeah. Number 3, Glass. Just he should have kept it in the oven a bit longer, because Unbreakable's great. I really like Split. Glass just kind of felt like M. Night Shyamalan saying that he's really smart and he knew what comic books were before everybody else did. My number 2, Rambo: Last Blood. Sorry, Mark. Yeah, no. I'll leave it there. And my number 1 most disappointing, Triple Frontier. That cast, that director, and you made that film.
Yeah, I quite like Triple Frontier.
Right, well, I feel like I need to explain my most disappointing now because I just rattled through them. Okay, so Guava Island, it's just...
It's not a movie.
It's just...
I know it is a movie, but it's not a movie.
It's just crap, and given that it had Rihanna and shit, I forgot his name.
Danny Glover.
No, Donald Glover in it.
It'd be better if it was Rihanna and Danny Glover.
I was quite excited for it, and I thought it could be quite interesting, but it wasn't. Extremely wicked, shocking, evil, and vile. It's just so shallow. It's just all surface. Little Monsters, the premise should have been better. Us. When you're going to release a trailer that's that fucking good and that creepy, you can't then not make the film live up to that. It just wasn't as good as I expected it to be. And Endgame wasn't as good as Infinity War. That should have been the best one. It should have worked up to Endgame instead of working up to Infinity War and then dropping.
Yeah, I can see your point on that. My disappointments, number 5, The Report. It felt like a TV movie. It's fine, but you could have had a 4 or 5-star movie there, and you made a 3-star movie. Number 2, number 4, Wounds.
That one, innit?
Yeah.
With the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really great poster. Thought it was a great movie. Number 3, It Chapter 2. It's too long, and it's not that good.
Not a bad shout, that, actually, yeah.
Number 2, Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, Incredibly Vile. Really great performance from Davy Z. But the rest of the cast do seem a little bit like children playing dress up. And my number 1, that might shock you on this one, Rambo: Last Blood.
Okay, all right.
I liked it, but I just get the feeling that they could have made a different, better movie to be that last character's last. What is it? I'm fine with it, but it's not perfect, and you could have had a perfect send off. It even needs to be a better movie. You could have just had a better send off, I think, for that character. For that there. So yes, that was my disappointment there. So Bex, surprises.
Okay, so hang on, I'm going to try and do these 5 through 1. So The Gentleman was a surprise to me because I didn't like the trailer. I'm not a big fan of Guy Ritchie, and it was a really fucking good time.
Apart from the fact that you don't like most Guy Ritchie movies.
There's never any urge to rewatch them. They're fine. They're just.
So you enjoy when you watch them.
Yeah.
You enjoy King Arthur. You enjoy Man from Uncle.
Yeah, but King Arthur. I mean, like his Snatch and.
It is London Gangster.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Which is what This is. So I wasn't expecting to like The Gentleman, and I really, really did. Blinded by the Light, I expected to like the music, but I didn't expect the story to be what it was and as good as it was, and as kind of touching, warm and fuzzy as it was. The Laundromat, a lot more interesting than a film about insurance should be.
Yeah.
Detective Pikachu, because it's a film about fucking Pokemon, but it's awesome.
You see, I contemplated having that in my surprises, and then when actually no, I can't. That is Ryan Reynolds voicing Pikachu. I was always Pikachu's a detective. There's no way I wasn't gonna like that movie.
It was better than it deserved to be, though. And then the Banana Splits movie.
You really liked that?
I really liked the Banana Splits movie. Yeah, I thought it was really good fun. And again, it looked fucking awful from the trailer, and I really, really enjoyed it.
Ian, what were your biggest surprises?
My number 5, Doctor Sleep. Just because I was surprised how much I did like it. You know, it was close to my top 10 at the end of the year, and was actually in my top 100 of the decade. You know, it was number 100. So yeah, I really like Doctor Sleep. I'm very intrigued to watch the 3-hour director's cut.
Oh yes.
And one.
Yeah.
It's not confirmed it's going to be the UK one.
You can buy it on iTunes, and it's pre-order, isn't it?
Yeah.
It could be, yeah.
Yeah, I think it will be on the UK one.
Flanagan has said, I think he said, as it stands, that there'll be nothing, there will be no change between the UK release and the US release as it stands.
No, that makes sense. Huh?
When is it released?
It should be in the next few weeks because Joker comes out on iTunes tomorrow, and Doctor Sleep was only about 3 weeks after that in the cinema, so it shouldn't be too long.
If it's before or while we're on holiday, can we get it and watch the 3-hour director's version from the hot tub?
I mean, I've not watched that in the hot tub.
We can watch it in the cabin.
The way it was meant to be seen.
Yeah, definitely.
Pre-order just says pre-order. There's no specific.
Yeah, I reckon it'll be in the next few.
weeks. What is it? It is just say the director's cut. It's on there. Oh, I didn't need to. It was.
No, I thought I checked, but it does say with pre-orders that content is subject to.
Oh yeah.
Go on, Ian. Sorry.
Yeah. My number 4, Motherless Brooklyn. Yeah, I mean, like this is kind of before you guys talked about it, just because it kind of sank without a trace in the US. It went nowhere, and I'd heard some podcasters just mention how rubbish they thought it was, and it wasn't. It's really fucking good. Yeah, Motherless Brooklyn. Number 3 is Klaus, the Netflix animated film about Santa Claus, which won the best film at the Annie Awards over the last few days, which is like basically the animation industry's big awards, and nominated for best animated feature. I think it's got a shot. Bloody beautiful film, this Klaus. My number 2 is Murder Mystery, because that film is fucking fun, and how is it?
Yeah, I agree on that one. Yeah.
I believe a sequel is in the works, and I'm really looking forward to it. And my number 1 is Don't Let Go, the David Oyelowo starring time-shifting kind of sci-fi thriller, which I think came out on iTunes last week. It's really weird that the genre press didn't get behind it. You know, it was made for fuck all money, grossed not an awful lot, but I thought it was a really fucking interesting piece of work, which I think people are going to come round to in the next few years. And I'm just saying I was there first. So yeah, Don't Let Go. It's cracking.
Cool. I'll do my surprises then. My number 5, Dolomite Is My Name. There is number 5 because I was surprised that Eddie Murphy can still do it. I'm also very glad that Eddie Murphy can still do it.
Yeah.
And it's making me look at, it might be not until December, but I am very much looking forward to coming to America too.
Not coming to America too, it's just coming to America.
Oh, that's even better than that. Yeah, wow. Number 4, Rocket Man. Because, yeah, it's a really, really good movie. And after how painfully dull the other one was the year before, I was a bit worried.
The film that shall not be named.
Yes. Number 3, mid-90s. John Hill writes and directs a mid-90s skateboarding movie. Yep, I was quite surprised that was as good as it was. Somebody in my top 10, to be honest. Number 2, Hustlers, because I didn't expect a JLo movie to be that good. And number 1, Long Shot.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, again, was very close to my top 10, Long Shot. And it surprised me it's there because it managed to show Charlize Theron as being an actual human.
Of an evil robot.
With real emotions. Yeah, I really enjoyed Long Shot. It's a really clever, really good movie. I rewatched it the other day, and it's an awful lot of fun, but actually manages to get over not messages, but it basically tells a lot of people, just calm the fuck down.
It's a bit, women, you'll be happier if you just lower your standards and go out with fat ugly guys, though.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not. But if that's a message that gets out there, then I'm fine with it going out there. Cool. Yeah. So, Bex, do you want to give us your 5 to 2? 5 to 2.
5 to 2.
5 to 2.
They're in a bit of a funny order because I reordered them. Not funny, haha.
Oh, sorry.
So number 5 is Dr. Sleep. I expected this to be good anyway. Didn't expect it to be as good as it was, but I really liked how they managed to make both an adaptation of the book and a sequel to the Kubrick movie at the same time that worked. It was just really, really, really fucking well done. Leave my shit alone. Number 4, Jojo Rabbit. We discussed this last week. I won't go into it again, but I really, really like Jojo Rabbit. Number 3, Rocket Man. Was a bit concerned that it wouldn't hold up on rewatch, and then we rewatched it, and similar to when we saw it in cinema, I laughed, I cried. It's just really fucking like. It feels really cathartic to watch. It's brilliant. It's Rocket Man, and again, like you said, with the other adaptation that was done previously, it was a bit like, oh shit, is this going to be bad as well? But it wasn't, so that's great. Number 2, Motherless Brooklyn. No, hang on. Yeah, number 2, Motherless Brooklyn. Just a fantastic fucking film.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Ian, what's your 5 to 2s?
My number 5 is Marriage Story. My number 4, those damn Little Women that you still haven't seen. Number 3, The Irishman, and I've had a little bit of a swap around from my best of decade list. And my number 2 is If Beale Street Could Talk.
Cool.
Was that a 2019 movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very early in 2019. In fact, I think we literally, it came out the week after we did our list last year.
Yeah, I think I saw it like the last week of January. So yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. My number 5 is John Wick 3. My number 4 is Motherless Brooklyn. My number 3 is Joker. And my number 2 is The Irishman.
Good stuff.
I have a feeling that we might all have the same number 1.
Maybe.
Bex, what's your worst? If you done 5 or 10, I've only done 5 because I struggled to get to 5 worst movies, which I really quite like that I struggled to get to 25.
I had about 6 or 7 and was struggling to get to the 10 that I thought we had to do.
Then do 6 and 7 then.
I didn't. I've not got rid of them.
Well, they're gone.
They've gone.
They've literally just gone.
They're on. I have a page which is my working, and then a page which is my list. So my number 5 is Dark Phoenix. It's just shit.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah. I literally forgot it existed. It's that shit.
Oh, these might actually be in order, as is. And number 4 is Glass.
Yep.
I didn't like Split, so I wasn't disappointed by Glass because I fully expected it to be awful. But the James McAvoy character is horrific to watch on screen.
I quite like Split.
Number 3, Midsummer.
Yes.
Just terrible. Number 2 is Cats.
Yep.
Just terrible. That's all I can say about any of these. And then number 1 is Black Christmas, which is just a heinous piece of shit. Disrespectful, heinous piece of shit.
Ian, what are your bottom worst movies? How many have you done?
Yeah, I've got 10.
Go on, give us your 10.
My number 10 is Midsommar, because of course it was going to be in there. My number 9 is The Dead Don't Die, because Mark's a fucking idiot. My number 8 is Polar, the Mads Mikkelsen Netflix thing that was just like a really fucking garish comic booky bollock.
Yeah.
My number 7 was Michael Bay's Six Underground, because even though that first 10-15 minutes is fucking ace, the remaining 2 hours is shit. My number 6 is Wounds. Yeah, like the last shot of that film is like, wow, this could be a really interesting last 15 minutes or so, and then it ends.
Yeah.
My number 5, oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles McCavity! Cats!
I would have thought that would have been in your most disappointing. I was quite surprised.
The thing is, I knew, well, I was running by the rule that we're not allowed to have duplication.
We're not allowed to now.
Yeah.
So, is it worse? Is it disappointing? To be fair, it's in worst. But yeah, I mean, it was disappointing, but I also knew it was going to be shit. So, you know, but the thing is with Cats, it's already getting a bit of a life playing midnight shows. And I could see that. If you just edited out that 5-minute long bit where they're all dancing around in the Jellicle Ball, then I could see how that could be a good midnight film. But yeah, Cats. I'll buy it on 4K. My number 4 is The Curse of La Llorona, which you guys didn't get to, did you?
No.
Or did you? No. We were gonna review it, and then something happened. The priest character in it is fucking brilliant. The rest of it is anti-good.
Anti-good.
My number 3 is I.O., Netflix original from way early on in the year, where it's Margaret Qualley and Anthony Mackie. She thinks she's like the only person on the planet, but
yeah.
Anthony Mackie's there as well. Like, just boring, turgid fucking thing.
It's really boring.
Yeah. My number 2, Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil and Vile. That film's a piece of shit. Yes, Zephron is all right, but that's not a film that needed to be made. And my number 1 is Black Christmas. That film is not good in any way, shape, or form whatsoever. It's trading on the on a very well-known sentiments on social media, and is trying to make money out of it. It's written and directed by women, which makes me even more angry because this is only going to further delay the coming tide, which should sweep us all. It's not very good. It literally, as we said in the review, it feels like they knocked up a draft and just put it into production. Incredibly tight turnaround, and oh my, does it show. Awful film.
Yeah, mine 5 then. Number 5, Terminator Dark Fate.
That's fair.
It's shit. Number 4, Alita Battle Angel. Shit. Number 3, Glass. Shit. Number 2, Black Christmas. Because everything Ian's just said, everything you said. And number 1, Cats. Because it is a film absolutely dripping in its own arrogance.
Yeah.
That they could actually do that. Every single one of them. The only person who has possibly come out of it mildly unscathed so far is Taylor Swift, because she's basically refused to acknowledge that it even fucking happened.
I love that.
Yeah, that causes what is it? Which is to be, I was in it, but I shall say nothing about it, and I shall never sing the song, is better than the Jason fucking Derulo defending it thing. It's like, no, Jason, it's indefensible, and you can't sing, you creepy fucking weirdo, right? Or the James Corden defence of, yeah, I've heard it's a bit shit, but I've not actually seen it myself. Oh, but you cashed the check though, have you?
Oh, and by the way, Gavin and Stacey. Don't think about cats. Gavin and Stacey.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just horrendous. It should be the final movie that Tommy ever gets to make. Sadly, it won't be, because they'll do some pompous costume drama next that people will go, oh, he's back. And it's like, oh, can't you just fuck off again? Because he's a TV director. And not even a good one.
Frankly, if it was directed by a woman, she would never work in the industry again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It's just terrible. And I hope to God this finally puts paid to one of the most irritating fucking things that comes out about films, where people seem to think that if a film is ambitious but shit, at least it was ambitious. No, it was shit.
No, because it's already like it's already getting legs. It's a pre-manufactured cult classic.
No, it's not a pre-manufactured cult classic. They tried to make a prestige film.
They did.
To win awards, and it didn't work, so they pivoted quickly. Clever marketing has pivoted that quickly. They've made a bit of a decent fist out of a terrible piece of shit.
Yeah, but it's not an organic cult classic, is it?
No, but I don't think it'll be a cult classic. It'll burn out after what is it? It's just it is more proof that is happening. Is more proof that this is why we can't have nice things. So when people get shouted at, for instance, I saw a tweet thread about somebody having a shit flit about saying, oh, I can't believe that the Joker made that much money, yet A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood has made hardly anything. This is why we can't just have nice movies. It's like, no. People go to see Cats out of curiosity, like we did, to see how bad it is, and then people go to see it at midnight screenings and things like that. That is the reason why we can't have nice things.
I'm so psyched for Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, that's my worst film of the year. It's an absolute piece of shit. I think our number ones are all the same, aren't they?
Mine and yours are. Can't see Ian's list.
I'd be very surprised if this doesn't crop up. Becky, what is yours?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Ian, what's yours?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Mark, what's yours? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It did overtake The Irishman.
Good.
On a repeat watch. We watched it again the other night, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
And about 20 minutes into it, I was very much going, do you know what? This is really fucking special.
Did we purchase it on the iTunes?
Yeah.
It's everything you just love about being entertained by a film.
It is. It's because I did have a few points I wanted to make about it, because like I said, we rewatched it. It doesn't feel like a nearly 3-hour movie.
No, it really doesn't.
It's really quite funny, quite touching. I think DiCaprio's performance has gone a little bit underappreciated.
I think he's been overshadowed by Brad Pitt, hasn't
he? Yeah. the film's thematic sense really make better sense on the second watch.
Really strong four-legged female character.
But
really strong four-legged female character. The dog.
Oh, the dog. Oh God, yes. Yeah.
That took a real while.
It took a real while.
I think you maybe need like a Barocca.
I think I do need a couple of Baroccas, yeah.
Yeah.
Just the whole, as well, the violent, punchy ending bit didn't seem as violent on rewatch. It still seemed violent, but it didn't seem violent as violent on rewatch. It's
pretty funny. Didn't he slam one of them's face into a stone fireplace?
Yeah, but the fact that he's grinning and laughing while he's doing it.
Oh,
it's an absolute treat. Yeah, the flamethrower. But then it's the conversation. That's the thing, is people will focus on the violence and anything like that. The violence is actually really minimal in this movie. But before that, you get the ridiculousness of him coming out with the margaritas thing still in the fucking jug, just kind of drinking from it. And essentially just trying to get the fuck off is what is it?
Yeah.
And
the bit after when he's saying about the flamethrower,
Yeah.
and he's like, oh, but the one from Bar? Yeah, we still got it. Still works.
Fucking somehow, thank God. And then people say, and then just, again, it's the, part of it is just the whole, we should be allowed to just sit back as film fans and be allowed to luxuriate in the fact that got made. The fact that you have a filmmaker, be it male, female, whatever creed or race or anything they come from, that has the balls and the movie intelligence to be able to go, do you know what? Movies aren't set in the real world. So why do we have to work within the real world of history?
I like that he just goes, nah, I don't like that panned out that way, so it's not happening that way in my movie.
Yeah.
No.
And because
she's gonna live and Hitler's gonna die.
He was posed that question of is this a bit like you saving, you being a white male filmmaker saving, someone, your crush at the time. And he was like, no, it was a big thing at the time. It was a big thing. And when I started writing it, I just thought, no, she's not dying in my universe that I have for my films. No, she's still alive. But it's. I think the fact that what's going on in Hollywood is so good that people have struggled a little bit to criticise it.
They tried with the thing, didn't they? Bruce.
What, Sharon Tate?
Bruce Lee.
The Bruce Lee.
Oh, well, yeah, sorry, yeah, the Bruce Lee thing too, yeah.
The Sharon Tate thing, I don't really get the criticism. She does, as a character, what she's there to do. She's not the main focus of the film.
Margot Robbie's very good when she's in it.
She is, but she, the fact that it's not a bigger part, it's not about Sharon Tate. It's not a movie about Sharon Tate.
No.
It's a movie about the guy that lives next door to her, if anything.
And his mate.
Yeah.
Just their relationship in it is just great.
Oh, it's so good.
The fact that they're just good buddies. They're just good friends.
What is it they're watching on TV that night? Crime scene or something?
FBI Law.
FBI Law, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like that where it's like, do you want to come in and watch I'm on the FBI Law?
No, I just thought we would.
And it's like, well, I've got $6 on a pizza, so I just thought it would be. And it's just, even when he has to say to him, look, you're fired, you get to feel like that they're still going to be mates, so he's probably still going to do all the stuff for it.
Yeah.
He's just not going to get paid for it. It's just an absolute joy.
It is, yeah. Anything you want to add, Ian?
No, perfect.
Right, Parasite.
List done,
yeah. Parasite. Just to say, if anybody wants to listen to more of doing lists, our Patreon, $2 a month, and you can listen to us do our full, 3 hours long, was it?
It's 3.5 hours.
3.5 hour long show of us doing our top 100 of the decade. There's also Ian's Guide to Bondage on there. Once we get our laptop thing sorted out, we are going to have the Erotic Adventures of Mark and Becky out there, aren't we? You've got a podcast that you're going to be doing coming up, haven't you?
What, the Cat Bus one?
Oh, there's that new one that you have.
Full Cat Bus.
Oh, yeah, I need to speak to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a possible podcast where Becky might be joined by a guest.
Okay.
I'm excited about Full Cat Bus, though. I'm super excited for that. I'll drop in.
Oh, yeah.
So do they all drop the same day? I thought they dropped them
staggered. 7 Feb 1st, 7, whatever the next one is, March 1st, and then 7 April 1st.
Yeah, I love that, yeah. Cool, right, so Parasite. Directed by Bong Joon-ho and starring some people whose names are about to get butchered. Song Kang-ho, Lee Sung-hyun, Chow Yong-jung, Choi Woo-sik, and Park So-dam.
Your face, you look so proud of you.
I am well proud of myself about that. Our 6 Asian listeners are there going, that was nowhere near wrong. You just insulted my entire country. Right, so it's centered on the Kim family, who are down on their luck, shall we say.
Yeah. They're not having a great time.
They're not having a great time. People keep on peeing up against their window. They are making money by any means necessary, including folding pizza boxes. And then what's his name? Kim, the son, gets a chance to tutor a girl. His friend is currently tutoring, but his friend is going away for the summer, I think it is, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So he says, you can come in and tutor while I'm away. And then whilst that happens, he starts figuring out ways for him to get the rest of his family employed by this family. And then more things happen that we'll get into while we're into the movie.
It doesn't start as a cynical thing as such, does it?
It very quickly becomes a cynical thing.
It very quickly does, but when it's like with his sister, it's...
Oh, yeah, that, but then when they start getting other people fired,
yes,
what is it?
Yeah.
Remember, guys, we are all spoilers all the time, so if you haven't seen Parasite and are wanting to see it, I definitely would suggest skipping past this review, just because there are bits of it that I think you won't want to.
You want to go in blind.
You want to go in blind, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask one thing though? So we remember, guys, we are all spoilers all the time. Ian, because I literally knew nothing about this going in.
Yeah.
Ian, you said you knew about the twist.
You said you'd been spoiled.
You've been spoiled. Was it spoiled? Which bit was spoiled for you?
I knew that there was someone in the basement sending messages by Morse code.
I thought that's what it was going to be. But so Ian, Parasite, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, so even though I knew that, there was still plenty of what the fuck is actually going on here. Like, I didn't know who was in the basement. I didn't know what the context was. So, and I don't know, but this is the thing. I think Parasite is really, really, really good. It's really, really good, and I wish it all the luck in the world in the next couple of weeks. I would not begrudge it winning Best Director, Best Picture, Best Editing, all of these things. You know, absolutely yes. My issue with it is that I think as a one watch, like first time watch, it's going to be wow. Second time watch, I wonder.
I'm really keen to watch it again because it's always different with a film with a big twist. Watching it the second time, it's always, I think you get different things out of it, don't you?
Yeah, I mean that's true, but I think the metaphor of the film, the way it's so literal, it just I'm not entirely sure it's as smart as the real fans of the film seem to be making it out to be. And I wouldn't say it's Bong Joon-ho's best film.
No.
I was ready to be floored by it, given the fact that it's gotten just so far as it has in awards season. But now I would just have to say that the distributor in the US, Neon, have done an incredible job with the marketing campaign, which has then bled through to the BAFTA and whatnot. And I kind of wish that they were around when Snowpiercer came out, or when Mother came out, or even when Memories of Murder came out.
That's it. It's. Do you want to go next? What do you think?
No, you go.
Sure. Yeah. So yeah, I'm the same. I really enjoyed Parasite. It's very good. It doesn't even really suffer from the thing that often Korean movies can suffer from, where they're a little bit too long. This is plus 2 hours, but I think it's all right with the plus 2 hours on it. It certainly, for me anyway, I felt it never outstayed its welcome.
It didn't at all.
Yeah, it absolutely earns that plus 2 hours there.
Yeah.
I think all the performances in it are all solid. I had a little bit of an issue with some of the sentiments behind it.
Like what?
I don't know whether the film is painting the family as too much as they're kind of on the writer side.
I get what you're saying.
I think what they're trying to get at is that their motivation is justified and understandable, but it all just gets completely out of hand. But I think that's the thing, is they start off doing these things, sort of orchestrating getting these jobs with this family out of desperation, but then they're so intent on keeping them that things just completely blow up.
I mean, the thing is, I get what Mark's saying there, though, because yes, they're desperate, but they all, I don't know, they also seem to get quite greedy with it. Like that scene just before the doorbell rings, where they're all drunk and kind of like it that I kind of think is showing them in almost like a truer light, which the rest of the film doesn't seem to want to do. And what I also wasn't keen on, the fact is they're victims, and in the end of the day, they are, those people are victims. Just because they're rich doesn't mean they can't be victims. The worst crimes that they do is what they say, that the dad smells of turnips. It's like, but I mean that's the thing. It's like the son has issues, but he's not a bad kid. The daughter seems perfectly nice. The mum seems very nice, and the dad's hardworking. It's
and he's the least pleasant of a lot of them, but he's not an outright fucking arsehole.
No, he's really not. And I mean, that's the thing. Like, Song Kang-ho's decision, like his character's decision to kill him, and yes, that has been kind of building, but it's very... That really made you go to that extreme. Yeah, just the fact that... And if I had someone working for me and they smelt, I'd probably talk about that with other people.
Yeah.
It's and I mean I don't know, it just doesn't seem like the done thing to say now, but was I more sympathetic towards the rich people or the poorer people in this fucking film? To be fair, the rich people. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was there. They're not an unpleasant family. No. I just got that they were. I don't know. There was a little bit of snariness, and maybe that genuinely is there has to be, as a viewer, a cultural difference in that, in the sense that if that had been a rich British family and they'd been the way around for that, I wouldn't have given a shit. I'd have been like, nah, fucking take the fucking house, murder them all. It would have been that. I just, there was a little bit of that for it.
I didn't get the vibe off the film that it was trying to make you like super sympathetic towards them.
I'm not super sympathetic, but I think you were supposed to be rooting for them.
Yeah, you are. But yeah, I mean, the kind of the ending with like the dad communicating with the son over the Morse code and whatnot, they're obviously trying to go for you would root for them.
I don't think it's trying to justify their behaviour.
I don't think it's trying to justify it, but I think it is making you try to overlook it slightly. And that's the thing, is they kind of deserve to get fucking caught.
It's that, I mean, I know I just said it, but the thing that bothers me is the poor dad killing the rich dad. That just, the connective tissue wasn't there for me.
Yeah, and I think that the ending is a little bit rushed. Like, not that ending, but then from that to where we get to is literally 5 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's like that. That show felt a little bit like, do you know what? You could have taken an extra 10 minutes and still not told the massive, the intricacies of that story, but given me a little bit more. But it's fun. It's funny. It looks very good. I think Ian said there, if it wins Best Picture, great.
Yeah.
If it's a new little fillip and a little bump for foreign cinema, great.
Yeah, I'd like that whole thing to happen again.
That'd be quite nice. And if Bong Joon-ho has been making movies and great movies for getting on 2 decades now, and he comes across as a really great character, a really great filmmaker, and a good. He's interested in listening to talk about things, and he seems to be taking all this very much in his stride.
And the thing is, if he decides to make an English language film next, people will be fucking knocking his door down to be in it.
Oh yeah, but the weird thing is, I think people already were. Post, The Host and Mother. You had Snowpiercer, which if you look at the cast in that, it's incredible.
Yeah, but I mean, DiCaprio and Pitt have been all over him over the last couple of weeks. It's like you could get that fucking level.
Oh, he can literally, his next movie, if he wants to make an English language movie as his next movie, because he has made English language movies before, then he will literally have the pick of whatever the fuck he wants to do.
Yeah.
And that's great because not just because Parasite is done well critically, because it's done well commercially as well. And key things, it's done well commercially outside of Asian markets.
I always like seeing Song turn up in stuff as well. He's consistently fucking great in every film that he's in.
The dad?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's always great.
I don't think I've ever seen a film that he's been in that he hasn't turned in a fantastic performance.
And I think that some of the arguments for why the acting cast's been overlooked but the movie hasn't are valid. However, my argument there would be, no matter what you say, it is harder to pick out nuances if something isn't in your existing language.
I will say, cynically, I think it's literally because Hollywood don't know who they are. They know who director Bong is. They know who Kang Ho Song was. And I don't think Kang Ho Song was that far off a Best Supporting Actor nomination either.
Yeah.
But it's like the girl who played the poor daughter, she's got some fucking great material in this.
There's a little rhyme before she goes in.
Yeah. And like it's just like her whole kind of like the thing, the kind of like the fake thing that she has to put on with like when her mum comes in when she's the maid, and then she's like, do not come in when the lesson is started, do not do this, do not do that, like how fucking severe she is, but then how she actually seems to be getting good results out of the kid as well.
Yeah, because I like when it never explains that. What she do with the kid is working. Yeah. I also think the mum's fantastic in it.
Who plays the mum?
Are we talking the rich mum or the poor mum?
The rich mum.
Yeah, the rich mum's the poor mum doesn't get an awful lot to do, but the rich mum is fantastic.
Yeah. It's a really, 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 really good film. I do think a little bit like we had a couple of years ago with Get Out, where it seems to be a film where people have decided this is the movie we're putting everything behind. This has got all of our energy. It's cropping up on so many best of lists, and I watch it going, do you know what? That's fine, but it's just a but for me.
My only issue with it is it's great. It's suffering from overhype.
Yeah.
It's great. It's just not as good as people are making it out to be. But people are making it out to be fucking prophetic, and it's not. It's a great film, but that can ruin films for people.
Yeah, going in with expectations just that little bit too high can sometimes be a little bit of a down if it's not seriously special.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like from the films that are nominated for Best Picture, I'd rather see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Marriage Story, The Irishman, Little Women. Like easily would rather see that. In a way, to be fair, it's probably tied with Joker for me. You know, I think there are definitely better films for Best Picture, but like you said earlier,
I interject very quickly there, though. Isn't there part of you that goes, "Oh, but the few would be nice if Joker won it"?
Fuck it, it'd be fucking hilarious if Joker.
It would be magnificent. The fume would be brilliant.
Like it's not gonna happen, but it'd be fucking.
No way.
It'd be fucking hilarious.
It just give me tingles.
It's not good enough though. It's not better than the other films that it's nominated with.
No, it's not. But if it would, I don't think it'd be an injustice.
But yeah, so it's just what it would hopefully do for South Korean cinema, which, to be fair, has been doing great stuff for for at least the last 20 years, and has been getting not an awful lot of formal recognition for it. But you think that Old Boy is getting on for 20 years old now. And there are notable instances beforehand as well. I mean, it's definitely not shit. Definitely not shit. And I am not going to be a dickhead and argue with people on Twitter about my points, about my negative points of it. But I do have them, and I am saying them.
Yeah, no, I'm exactly the same place. It's definitely not shit. I'm pretty sure I gave it 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd. I'm happy with the 4 out of 5 of that. And like I think you said in there, you do wish it all the success it might have.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love that. There is a big part of me that kind of wishes for it to get Best International and Best Picture. Because it's not been done before, has it?
No. I don't think. Has any foreign language movie won Best Picture?
I
don't think it has it? No, I'm sure it hasn't.
I don't know.
Oh, the artist.
Oh yeah.
I know it's a silent movie, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When there is the little, there is a little bit of speaking in it when it is in French.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Literally, but that is the first time anyone's mentioned the artist in like 10 years now.
But yeah, that's a fair point.
You know, has the artist cropped up on anyone's best of decade list? No. And how many people checked to see if the artist was released in this decade? I guarantee you nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, so that was Parasite, which I think is an odd, like, we all liked it, but just maybe not as much as the internet does.
I'm just going to go for a wee.
No worries.
I was just reading something there, just going up the stairs. Hideo Kojima has said he's preparing to make his next game by watching horror movies because he wants to make the scariest game of all time.
Oh, that could be quite interesting.
Oh, did either of you ever play PT?
Bet you played PT. Yeah.
Played all the way through, bitches.
You played it all the way through, didn't you?
Did you really?
Yeah.
You put a lot of hours into that, didn't you?
I put a lot of time into that, yeah. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Got my Norman Reedus at the end. Very exciting. Went in a bit of a rabbit hole actually the other day, didn't we, on PT? With the guy that's hacked the the thing, and you can float around the Silent Hill that they'd actually. Do you know when you come out at the end and you're Norman Reedus and you're looking around and he literally walks down a street and there's So some dude has done something to the program so that when you go out through that final door, you can float around the area and explore. So you're not Norman Reedus, you're just like you're a camera view. But you can like the bit where there's the massive blood streak on the road, you go past that, and then there's
loads.
This building's so detailed.
There's loads of work on it.
Yeah, mental. Absolutely. I mean, clearly they've used some of what would have been the final game to do that cutscene, but it's brilliant. But on that video that I was watching, he was saying when he initially did it and got it so you could go through that door out into Silent Hill, they'd put a intentional glitch in the system so that once you stepped out onto the street, you fell through the floor. And then the angry lady ghost that's in when you're walking through the corridors that sometimes catch you. Yeah. You'd fall through the floor and then she'd come up with a big scary face and you'd go back to the beginning.
Oh, Jesus.
So he had to make it so that you could float, so you can just float through the streets of Silent Hill that had already been created. It's actually really fascinating. Isn't it? And
even somebody who has no interest in it whatsoever, I found it quite interesting.
I was so ridiculously excited for that fucking game.
Yeah, it's sort of like apparently Konami are working on a Silent Hill reboot. It's just come out as well. Like, it's not Kojima may or may not be involved apparently, but it's like those games, man. Like, nah.
No?
Just too scary.
Fucking good though.
Too scary. Like fucking Silent Hill 2. Oh my god.
Which one's 2? I always get them muddled up.
Isn't it only like Hannah or Helen as well?
I think that's 3.
That's 3.
It's the it's the one with the fucking nurses with the what is it? It's like the character's called James, I think it is.
Yeah, he's looking for his wife.
Yeah, his wife. Yeah.
Number 3 is probably my favourite. I have to say, I have spent so much time playing number 3. Fucking love it.
You have spent way too much time.
Way too much time. I still could probably draw you a map of that mall.
Let's do a fucking Patreon just doing the Silent Hill films. That'd be fun.
There's only 2 of them though.
Do those. Do Doom and that Doom direct-to-video one that just came out, Doom Annihilation.
We do. We do a game adaptation one, couldn't we?
That could be fun.
Yeah. See, what would be nice would be to play the games and watch the films, but there's so many man-hours involved in that.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Let's just stick to the movies for now.
Okay. You should have already played Doom by now. You know. You've only.
Does that count?
I've never played the original.
Whoa.
What?
You've never played the original Doom on the PC?
Nope.
Have you, Ian?
Oh god, yeah. No, I played it. Oh god, man, I played that when it was like fucking shareware back in 93, 94. Yeah, what a time that was.
You were too busy playing fucking Sensible World of Soccer or some bullshit like that, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Football Manager.
It was actually Championship Manager at the time.
Okay.
Oh,
Actually, no, it was Premier Manager at the time.
Yeah.
Just like Doom, Quake 2, Quake 3 Arena. I was into that shit.
Yeah. I was Sensible Soccer, Kickoff, Striker, the Pele game.
God. Me and Isabel have been doing a rewatch of all the Resident Evil movies recently after I finished Resident Evil 2 for the second time through and was like, I need more of this shit in my life. I can't replay the game again. That's just crazy.
Well, you've only got 2 months to go until Resident Evil 3.
I'm so excited.
There's multiplayer as well. We're going to have to do some YouTube.
That's fair. Did you not carry on with Resident Evil 2?
Oh god, no. I will. I will get back to it, but like I've been doing Comfort Blanket. I'm replaying Doom, which is why I'm talking about it so much. Just because that's fucking comfort food. No, it's just metal.
Kobe Bryant's died.
Shit, really?
Yeah, Kobe Bryant has died.
Sorry to cut you off. It just popped up as a.
He died in a helicopter crash.
Fuck. Oscar-winning Kobe Bryant.
That's weird. Yeah, it's just coming out, is it?
Wow. Sorry, Ian. Go on. Doom. Is that not scary though?
No, it's just metal.
Fair enough.
Right. 24 hour parts, people. Yeah.
Can we talk about Resident Evil some more?
Yeah, want to talk about Resident Evil some more?
No, sorry. If just to say, if it was Mr. X that made you go, nah, I'm done. You literally just need to run away from him a lot. It's shit and it's scary, and if you get trapped in a small area with him, you're probably gonna get really badly injured. But you just have to run away from him. Don't try and engage because he's unkillable. Hello?
Sorry, just looking at these tweets. Like, fucking hell, man, there's a lot of people tweeting about that now, eh?
Is it gone a bit off?
Yeah. Wow. Fucking hell, man. Like, that's big, eh? Like, that's pretty seismic for US sports.
The guy's a fucking hero in basketball.
Right. Oh, my. Wow-wee.
That was impressive, that Ian.
But at least we got that one on audio this time.
Oh, sorry about that, folks. So, there's another coming. No. All right. Bad Boys for Life is directed by. Are they credited as Adil and Bilal?
Yes.
Yeah. I enjoyed that. So Adil Al-Arbi and Bilal Falah, and stars Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, Vanessa Hudgens, Alexander Ludwig, Paula Nunez, Kate Del Castillo, Nicky Jam, Charles Melton, and Joey Pants. So, Bad Boys for Life is an interesting one. It's 17 years after the second one, which it just took them fucking ages to really get to how they were going to do this one. I somewhat get the feeling that maybe it was a little bit waiting for Will Smith to lower his asking price a touch. And yeah, it reunites Will Smith and Martin Lawrence for a more a very funny action-y film that also sets up future films and is weirdly contemplative. It's doing a lot of things, this Bad Boys for Life. Becky, what did
when it sort of opened and it was all like flashy shit again, I was like, this is concerningly feeling a bit dated and over the top for the current cinematic climate, where things are a little bit more, like you say, contemplative and a bit, I don't know, a little bit more restrained, I think. And it was all bright colours and sunshine and fast cars, and it felt very kind of 2010s. But then it turns out that whole opening sequence is them getting to the hospital, and it just kind of it stops a bit there. It's still big and colourful and over the top, but it's not in the same kind of way that I was worried it would be. If that makes sense. It's, I think, bringing in obviously more people, bringing in the team behind them, the Ammo team, was a good shout. I don't think it could have carried just off them two again. It would have been too much like retreading. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought the story was clever. I thought the supporting cast, sort of like I say, the team were actually really good. I always like seeing Vanessa Hudgens in things. I find her very strange on screen. She's a bit of an odd one.
I totally didn't realise it was Hudgens for about half that time.
Seen the trailers, right?
It never clicked.
I watched the trailers and I was like, oh, that's weird. That looks like Vanessa Hudgens, but not. And then Googled it and I was like, oh yeah, it is. You didn't do that. No. But yeah, it's a bit heavier and a bit darker than the previous ones have been. With him getting shot, and then that whole kind of thing, and that scene where he's talking to Martin Lawrence about helping him get the guys, and he's just like really upset, and Martin Lawrence is just like, no. And then obviously, are we spoiling? Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Joey Pants. That really, I was like, I mean, I always do this every cinema. I'm a bugger for it, but I was like, and like,
I literally said out loud, "Oh shit!"
I didn't enjoy that bit so much. I didn't want him to get killed. But yeah, I thought out of the team, the Ammo team, I thought the best character was what's his name? Is it Dawn? The like mentally scarred bouncer who's like this big meathead that just won't do anything violent, and then at the end he just fucking unleashes it. That bit was good. I think having the intrigue as to who these people actually fucking were was good.
Yeah, and I will say, I fucking adore Will Smith just like bearing his soul and all this stuff that like Marcus never knew, and Marcus's reaction is just like, you fucked a Mexican witch without a condom.
The post-credit bits of that as well was fun.
Yeah. Playing talking like, oh, would you fuck a witch without a condom?
No, you wouldn't fuck a witch without a condom. Like.
But yeah, I thought like the more emotional bits in it were really well done, and I feel like if they had been doing it, it maybe wouldn't have been. But the bit like where he's telling his son that he's his dad, and like like all the looks between everyone, and is it true, and everyone's crying, and I thought it was really good, to be honest. I really enjoyed it.
But
way more than I expected to.
But then also in that bit, you've still got some really interesting action direction. Like there was this one shot where it was someone shooting someone else, like, and it was like below them shooting above, and then the camera like turned 90 degrees, and then it just kind of follows along there, and it was like there was interesting things there. And I mean, like the ending gets quite CG heavy with all the fire and debris, but they still had things like that as well. But Mark, what do you think?
Yeah,
Can I just, before you get going, I thought it was going to be another daughter from the second one. I thought it was going to be her that wanted him dead for killing her dad.
Well, I think it was
100%. So did I.
Yeah. I struggled with it a little
really
more.
Angry because
The timeline fucks up, and it's such an easy thing to not fuck up, but the timeline fucks up massively, and you don't need to fuck up a timeline that badly when you can just
change the dates, make the kid older. It's not hard.
Change dates, or have it would have been so easy to not do that. It feels like that bit was written by people who hadn't seen the other two movies.
Did it take you out?
It took you well out of it, yeah. And can I point out that this is a movie where there's a fucking mad Mexican fucking witch, right? Literally a character written for me. Again, it's best when Martin Lawrence is on screen. I think it focuses too much on Will Smith's character rather than them as characters. It's more his movie than it is Martin Lawrence's movie, where the other two felt more like it was them two.
So much growth you can have with a character in the third installment, where his whole bit is, oh yeah, I'm retiring. In all of them.
I can see that, but I think the movie is more fun when it's having fun than when it's trying to be a little bit darker.
That's what I was going to say. Sorry, back to the scene, the emotional scene where he's telling that his son is his son. It even still manages to get some humour in there when he's like, I'm injecting his soul, I'm penetrating his soul with my heart. And Martin Lawrence is like, no.
I was going through a thing.
Yeah, I'm your uncle. But we'll get to that later. It feels like a movie that's been written by three different people at three different times.
Sure.
You can pick out. I was watching that going, bet you Carnahan wrote that.
Yeah.
Bet you Carnahan wrote that. There's Carnahan bits in there. I like the direction of it. I like the whole build up to it, but it lacks for me anyway. It lacks the camaraderie of the first and the batshitness of the second, and was at points a little bit too generic. There was a point. There's a shot where Will Smith is not fighting his son. I'm looking at thinking, I mean, I'm sure I saw this a couple of months ago with Will Smith not fighting his self-son in Gemini Man.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's basically the same shot of Will Smith pulling the same face. But then you've got you die, you go see Mike. No, I'm not. It is. That's Midnight Cocoa Bean.
And when he's dying.
When he's dying, what is it? But then Martin Lawrence, I think, sells the what is it bits better. The emotional beat better in that scene. Because when he's having a go at him, when he says, he does the how dare you, I was there all the time. And I don't know, it feels out of place in these movies for me.
What, the emotional?
I think I wanted more fun.
Yeah,
but I did get it, and I think they don't hang up on it too much.
The amount of times the bad boys song was used.
Oh, God, yeah. The bad boys for life, and then the bad boys song. It's used more times in each 30 minutes of this movie than if you put the other two movies together.
That's fair.
Isn't it?
But as filmmakers, Bay doesn't fall back on that as much as they did.
It's not Bay, is it?
No, but people will say, the problem with the second one is there was too much Michael Bay in it. It's like, my issues with this film are there's not enough Michael Bay in it. Because the bit where he goes crazy bit, I wanted more of that. And the bit where he's weirdly restrained because he doesn't do shit about the song and bits like that. However, the bad boy shot that swoops down from underneath them and comes up to them there is really well done.
The bit as well, isn't there, where they're both shooting at people and like one's shooting one way and then Martin Lawrence is knelt down shooting the other way. That's in this film, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's nice.
It is, and there's some great bits. Martin Lawrence scene when the phone rings after a guy's getting in his car. And it's his wife.
She knows. She always knows.
He's hilarious. I think there was one bit where I actually, what was it? There was a bit where I lost it completely. There was a bit in it, a line in it where I completely fucking lost it and couldn't. It took me a good few minutes to recompose myself. I can't remember which bit it was, but it fucking killed me. How I was laughing at it.
No, I mean that's it. I mean he's a fucking delight. He is, and Will Smith's not even trying to be funny for most of this film. I think it's the least he's trying to be funny, which kind of makes sense given the arc of his character. But yeah, Martin Lawrence is kind of the life of this film, and like you said earlier, Mark, he's got like a hell of an arc through these films, where it's almost from the start, it's kind of like he's wanting to retire, and he kind of finds different things pulling him back in, and with I don't know, it's interesting with this one. I hope the next one is just Martin Lawrence fucking about back at base.
Yeah, agree that he'll do it, but I ain't getting shot at again, Mike.
No, I mean that's it. It's like he just provides the funny comments while watching stuff on camera while Will Smith pretends to be 20 and all the other guys around him do shit. That's the thing. It's like I want to see Bouncer Boy get to know his violent side again. I want to see Vanessa Hudgens say more than 5 words at a time. But at the same time, I also want that bad boys dynamic. I'm both well up for and very wary of the next one.
Yeah, that's fair. Needs to be handled right.
Which, given how well this is done, I have a feeling that Sony and Bruckheimer are going to be like, we'll have another one out in 2 years no matter what.
It's greenlit and ready to go already, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, is that the way to do this?
Leave another gap.
I think that I will say now, I will happily take another one of these in 2 years' time. With that cast, and I'm interested to see what they're going to do with that character.
The thing is, franchise movies, they're a machine now. You have to get them out within a reasonable amount of time to keep people interested. People don't have the patience for it that they may be used to.
No, I think getting the new crew around them right was always going to be difficult. But they do land it with all of them. All of them are interesting enough.
Yeah. That
you go, yeah, I'd watch each of those in another movie.
Yeah. I read something the other day actually about this. Will Smith initially was intending to do his own stunts in this movie, and did a couple because he intended to do them. He was like, well, Tom Cruise does it. I'm better than Tom Cruise, and then quickly realised after having to do a couple of them that no, he could not do it, and he was not better than Tom Cruise, and he was just going to leave it to stuntmen for the rest of the movie. It's hard work if you're not used to it. I think Tom Cruise has been doing it for such a long time that he just forgets it, doesn't he?
So how old Will Smith? Will Smith will be...
He's younger than Tom Cruise.
He must be 50, something? 50? Maybe? Is he 50?
1968.
$51, Becky. If you just scroll down a little bit there, it says 51.
51.
Yeah, and Cruise is what, 56?
Yeah.
Yep.
Why not?
Yeah, but I mean,
that he could do it because obviously 57. Because Tom Cruise did it, but yeah, didn't pan out.
Well, no, I mean that's the thing. It's like Will Smith's only really started doing the action films again very recently, hasn't he? So, whereas Tom Cruise has been, because he's a fucking madman, he's just been doing them all along.
I will say though, this little renaissance we've had from Will Smith over the past couple of years, where he's decided to be Will Smith again rather than Oscar nominee Will Smith, or trying to essentially just go, look, yeah, I'll be in this movie, but my kid's got to be in it as well.
Yeah.
And I'm really liking it.
Yeah.
I didn't get on that well with Gemini Man, but it was still nice to sit in a cinema and watch Will Smith. And that was what was great, was sat in a cinema and watching this movie that has been on the cards for, people saying, oh, well, it's 17 years since the last one. It's like, this has been in development for 10 years. It did seem like we were never going to get it. And then we did get it. And it's a lot better than it ever should be.
But it's like if Gemini Man came at the end of a successful series of films where Smith was being the kind of the larger than life guy, then fair enough. But Aladdin was the first on-screen film that Smith had done in a while, was it not? So you go from like, hey, Will Smith's back, everybody, to, and now here he is murdering his own clone. It kind of feels like if Gemini Man were either 15 years ago or
Which
maybe
is when it should have been.
Sorry?
Which is when it should have been.
Yeah. Or a few years in the future where maybe we'd had a few fun Will Smith things and we were ready for him to be a bit darker. Then, maybe, yeah, all right, then go ahead. But it's... Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Gemini Man, it wasn't great. It didn't work. But now, hopefully, we can just have Will Smith do fun stuff like this for a few years, and then if he wants to try something else, then great. But I want fun Will Smith. If it's going to be with a tinge of like contemplative stuff, then fine. But to be honest with you, now if we got Bad Boys films for the next few sequels where it's Smith and Lawrence pissing about having a laugh while all these other young people do action stuff, I'm up for that.
Yeah,
absolutely I am.
He needs to start getting scriptwriters on board with not putting the word suicide in any films that he's in, because it pulls me out of it every time. Every time my brain just goes, why are we then? Just some kind of Suicide Squad? And I can't not do it. Like, it's a reaction that I have now to him saying the word suicide in anything, and he's taking it in quite a lot of films.
I think you just pick it up right there. It literally is just one for you with that.
It is, yeah.
That was, yeah. That's Paula Nunez's first English language film, that.
She's what?
That's her first English language film.
Oh, fair play. No, I liked her.
The one who played Rita.
Yeah. What, did she not?
No, I thought she was great.
Oh, cool.
I like the fact that you had two genuine looking badass female characters in there who you watch it going, do you know what? Yeah, I absolutely believe those guys could fucking do that. The fact that they are the more of the two badass of that forward dynamic that they've got of those guys, they're the two bursting through the door first ones.
Yeah, for sure.
They get their moments as well, all of them.
Yeah.
That's what is it. Yeah, the more I'm talking about, the more I'm liking it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Definitely not shit.
I still have problems with the timeline fuckery.
Yeah, it makes no sense. You're right.
It would have been so easy to just not. It would have been so easy to, you know that time where you were off because you got injured on the job and fucking Marcus says, because you shot me again. Yeah, well, that op that I had to do in Mexico. Yeah, this happened. Why did you never tell me about that? I didn't want to tell you about that. There you go. Done. Oh, it happened years before. What is it? A year after the first movie. And the first movie states that they've been partners for a number of years. It feels like it didn't need to be that out of it.
Well, I'll be honest, guys. I'm really desperate for a piss, so definitely not shit.
Definitely not shit.
Definitely not shit. Yeah.
Yeah, very much looking forward to it.
Manchester, birthplace to the railways, the computer, the bouncing bomb. In 1976, if you wanted to see the most exciting bands in the world, they were on a regional show coming out of Manchester. My show. I'm Tony Wilson. June the 4th, the Sex Pistols play Manchester for the very first time. There are only 42 people in the audience. Inspired, they will go out and perform wondrous deeds. For instance, behind me are Stiff Kittens, later to become Joy Division, finally to become New Order. That's John the Postman. He's a postman. Have you heard of the Factory Records? My label. Joy Division, New Order, Happy Mondays. We are an experiment in human nature.
What kind of music you got me bringing in?
Sort of new wave.
Kind of indie. Indian?
It's a pity you didn't sign the Smiths. I've just seen God.
What do you look like?
You look like me.
United Artists presents Steve Coogan in the international smash comedy.
It's like Scooby-Doo, isn't it? Because they had a bus, didn't they?
It is a little bit like Scooby-Doo.
That takes you back to the start of a movement.
This is it. The birth of rave culture. This is the moment when even the white man starts dancing.
A time when legends were created.
You know, I think that Sean Ryder is on par with W.B. Yeats as a poet. Give him an example of some of your lyrics.
Good, good, good. Good, good, double good.
And rules were broken.
Really ought to be careful with that, Sean. You could take someone's eye out.
Can I offer anybody like the best experience you've ever had?
Don't judge. I'm being postmodern before it was fashionable. When you have to choose between the truth and the legend, print the legend. Is he going to hit me?
24-hour party people.
Wow. Anyway, sorry, 24-hour party people.
Yes. 24-hour party people. Written by Frank Cottrell Boyce, directed by Michael Winterbottom, and stars. Here we go. Steve Coogan, John Thompson, Shirley Henderson, Paddy Considine, Andy Serkis, Sean Harris, John Sim, Ralph Little. Who else we got in there? Peter Kay turns up, Rob Brydon, Simon Pegg, Christopher Eccleston, plus a shitload of cameos from people who are actors and people who are the real people. What is it the story of? It's the story of Tony Wilson, who actually, in the film, the character says, it's not a story of his life, it's a story of the music that he helped create. So Factory Records, Hacienda, bands like Joy Division, New Order, and the Happy Mondays, the ones that it tends to focus on. Ian, I'm guessing you'd seen 24-hour party people before.
Yes, indeed. Quite a few times, actually. I really like 24-hour party people. It's been a while since I've seen it, in fairness. The first thing that struck me was how it looks like fucking hammered shit.
Bex literally about 5 minutes into it turned around to me and went, Ian is right, this film looks like shit.
Like, wow. I mean, it's like 28 days later. Like, I fucking... To be fair, I think I'm at the point in my life where I'll probably never watch the 28 later films ever again. I just don't need them. They're great films. I don't need them.
I can say I've seen 28 Days Later a couple of times. I've only ever seen the sequel once.
Yeah, they're really good films. They're very.
I liked the sequel, but I never need to see it again.
Yeah, it's just very bleak, very, very effective, very good at what they I just don't need them. I'm I'm getting way more fucking. I don't need that in my films. As the Grudge kind of shows, I think. Anyway, 24 Hour Party People. Yeah, it looks like shit. Shot on video by the looks of it. And just has not aged well in that regard. But Steve Coogan is really fucking compelling. The cast are brilliant. The story it's telling, I think it slightly, I don't know. The stuff with the Happy Mondays is all right, fine. They're kind of fucking scumbags, and I don't think they're very funny. I was kind of more interested in the earlier kind of Joy Division-y kind of aspect than I was the later stuff. But I get that the Happy Mondays were more tied to the Hacienda. But it's a really, really entertaining piece of work. I just think its focus is unfortunately maybe on the wrong place, but maybe that's just what the story dictates.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Yeah, definitely. The more interesting part of the film is the bit with the whole Joy Division New Order sort of set up. I think with the Happy Mondays bit, once it was focusing on them and it had gone into the bit about them poisoning loads of pigeons, I was like, oh, I don't like these boys anymore. I'm not interested in what they're gonna do. And I've never been a big Happy Mondays fan, so after that point, it was more about like what was going on with the club and stuff for me. That was the interesting bit.
Yeah, because you don't remember watching this, do you?
No.
Because you definitely have seen it, but you don't ever watch it.
I don't.
So what did you think?
I really enjoyed it. I liked the format of it more than I liked probably the content of it, if that makes sense. I liked the way it was done and I liked the way the story was told, but like the all the fourth wall breaky stuff, I really enjoyed that with it, and all the performances were great. It's just it's a little bit of a weird one because it's not really a scene that I was ever really aware of as a kid at the time. Do you know what I mean? Like I wasn't into Joy Division or New Order. I wasn't into Happy Mondays. It just that kind of bypassed me because I was a bad Tory as a kid, so not by choice, by indoctrination. So I was very shocked, let's say. It's a bit of an odd one for me because I don't watch and go, oh God, I remember that coming out. And
yeah,
does that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely makes sense. I think having an autobiographical reference point for some of the films like this can often certainly impact your enjoyment out of them. I always really enjoy 24 Hour Party People whenever I watch it. I do think you're both absolutely right. It's the more interesting bits are the early years of Factory Records and getting to the Hacienda rather than the Happy Mondays portion of it there. It tends to not focus. It tends to pull away from the focus of sort of like New Order and things like that to primarily focus on the Happy Mondays for a while.
Yeah.
And they're not, for me, as an intriguing thing.
It just doesn't have an awful lot of depth, whereas...
Well, the weird thing there is you've got... but I think partly it's because of Tony Wilson's character, is he really did root for Shaun Ryder, whereas he wasn't as invested in Vernon Sumner, for instance, who literally was one of the actual driving forces behind everything that was going on musically with Factory Records.
Right.
That was there. It's obviously I think I was more of like say effects aware of bits like that than himself was, and it does sort of capture a little time capsule of not just British culture, musical culture, and fashion culture, and like that, specifically Manchester, and so it was put straight across that it was an epicenter for a while British culture, be it good or bad in that terms. It's it's easy to forget. I think that essentially a version of dance music was literally invented within this that has now become what it's become. And that was kind of unheard of as much in England. It wasn't as unheard of much in Europe. And you had what was going on in the States. You had a lot going on in the 80s with that, a similar thing, but happening with hip hop, proper hip hop, that was going on there. But it's interesting that this was our version of it, for that there. I think that the fourth wall breaking is really interesting. I think Michael Winterbottom is a very interesting filmmaker in the sense that I either really like his movies or outright fucking hate them. And this is one that I really, really quite like.
Not a pretty movie though, isn't it?
No, I don't think he does make pretty movies. I don't think he's ever really made pretty movies. But the way the story's told, I think it takes some cues from the Howard Stern movie Private Parts, in the sense that there's a lot of fourth wall breaking, and in Howard Stern's Private Parts, the story of his life, he plays himself throughout the entire film. He plays himself, and he literally turns around a camera at points and says, "This didn't fucking happen, but it's fun to put it in there," and bits like that.
It looks like his new film is, from watching the trailer, he's going to follow that format a bit.
Greed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, same person.
Same director and same principal cast. But yeah, I really like 24 Party People. I like the fact that it kind of it very purposefully has a haphazard making of itself to try and I think marry up with the ridiculousness that was going on with Factory Records.
I just, as someone who knows nothing about that whole period in music and Manchester music, I wish they'd catered a bit more for people that don't already know it.
Yeah, that's a fair comment.
Because it at points you're there a bit like, huh? If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. There's 3 points in it where if you know that, you know that. If you don't, you won't understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I also forgot Sean Harris was in this.
He's great as well.
Yeah. I completely forgot he was in it. And weirdly, was that Wojciech, the movie he's watching? It's the Herzog movie that's playing in the background when he hangs himself.
Yeah, isn't that like based on fact though?
Yeah, it is apparently. Yeah, I checked that out afterwards. We covered that movie when we did a Herzog marathon.
Yeah.
And it does go batshit mental in the end bit, and there's an awful lot of that chicken in there.
Oh yeah.
There's an awful lot of just this chicken.
Yeah.
That like dances.
Nice.
For about the last 15 minutes, is primarily focused on this fucking chicken.
Fair enough.
It's a bonkers movie. Yeah, he's really, really good in it. The movie Control, the Ian Curtis story is actually really quite good as well. Obviously takes a much more in-depth look into his life.
I don't mind seeing that.
But that's a really interesting movie as well. But this is a more, Sean Harris gets across that energy. I think it's a really nice bit of the bit where you have Coogan turn around and saying, if you listen to, if you know anything about Ian Curtis and you listen to his music, you'll think that he was just this really quite dark character. But that's not how I like to remember him. And then you get a thing of the film making a point of going, look, this guy was fun.
Oh, when it's like him at the gig.
Yeah, with John the Postman.
Yeah.
Who's a real guy. Yeah, it's just but there's bits like that, and I think the whole.
I didn't realise either that as I said to you, didn't I, when we were watching it? So did Bez just fucking dance around like a tit?
Yeah.
Was that all he did?
Yeah.
He wasn't actually in the band.
No. No. And the weird thing is, he's probably the most together one out of a lot of them now as well.
Fair enough.
Yeah. He runs Manchester music nights and things like that. But like not just in Manchester, he runs them like across the country and just tours around as Bez the DJ.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of
Where he DJs, but he tells stories and stuff like that about this happened with this and with this and there's bits like that. He does it in York, I think every 6 weeks, something like that.
His Wikipedia page is Bez brackets dancer.
Yeah. He's made a very good life out of being Bez.
Yeah.
And fair enough. But yeah, it's what.
He's a member of the rock bands Happy Mondays and Black Grape and plays the maracas.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just Shaun Ryder's mate.
Fair.
I don't know. It just, again, this is a show that's kind of like seemingly proving that I'm just getting older more than maybe any show we've done before. But it's just like, I look at what the Happy Mondays are doing, and it's just like, I don't think it's funny. They're just fucking twats.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they are. They're just knobheads.
Like, just. Oh, I mean, Tony Wilson, like, not a perfect guy, but just the fact that they did all that kind of shit to him, like, where's a good place to record to, like, Get Clean Barbados, and then what do? They just go over there and fucking do crack for the entire time, and then give him a master tape after basically shooting at him that's not got any vocals. It's like, I think to some people that's funny, but it just, what the fuck, man? And I mean, like, and Shaun Ryder now, he's basically a joke, isn't he? Like, Bez, with Bez, it was kind of always like he kind of knew what he was almost and just had fun with that, and fair enough. But it's like, no one will remember Shaun Ryder in the grand scheme of things.
He's trying to reinvent himself as a little bit like a Shane McGowan kind of character.
Yeah.
In the sense that he's a very much reformed drug addict who tries to talk about. He's trying to go, do you know what? Yeah, I am this really. I'm all about the music and all this lot. And you kind of look at it going, don't want to buy it though, to be honest. And it's a little bit like that. You look at it going, you were a tit who was in a couple of bands that were one that was really popular and one that kind of rode the crest of a wave a little bit. I mean, Black Grape were not a great band. And I saw Black Grape not too long ago, a couple of years ago, and they were shit. Like, properly shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just embarrassing watching them. Because it was nonsense. And I remember seeing Black Grape when they were around and going, it's fun. It was fun, it was different. They were almost like the mad uncle of Britpop.
So Black Grape were what Shaun Ryder did after.
Yeah, they were his Britpop era band. I think he formed in like '94 or something like that. Right. Partially, a lot of the same members as the Happy Mondays. It was just the Happy Mondays as a band and business were in a lot of debt, sort of right off. They just formed Black Grape.
It was a rebranding.
Yeah, almost like a rebranding. Yeah, certainly. Yeah. And did a couple of albums. Reverend Black Grape was the album, which is a decent enough album.
Yeah.
But when you listen to it, it's one of those weird ones, Shaun Ryder. When he gets it right, he's a really interesting artist. But if you were to put out 50 songs of Shaun Ryder, 2 of them might have got it right. And the other 48 will be absolute fucking garbage.
Fair enough.
His hit rate.
You don't really get that.
His hit rate is really low.
Sometimes good vibe at all off this movie.
No, I don't think they sell enough of the music at all in this movie.
The movie about the music, where the music gets absolutely lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit on that, yeah. I think you're spot on right there, actually, yeah. They don't seem to actually focus ever in on any of the actual how good some of these bands were. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, don't have much more to say.
No, I don't. It's definitely not shit. I really enjoyed rewatching this, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not shit. Like I say, I wish I'd known more about the whole thing it was about to then catch some of the references, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair point. When the film came out, I think the people watching it would have kind of known the context, but it does seem to assume you know an awful lot of stuff. And I mean, like the whole kind of like Tony Wilson saying that Shaun Ryder is like one of the great poets. It's like, what the fuck is that actually based on anything? Because if it is, you probably need to be providing a bit more within the film.
Tony Wilson literally did used to say that to people.
But that's the thing. It's like, is that just based on nothing? Is that just a thing he said? Because it's not. The film doesn't exactly present a compelling argument towards that.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't at all. It's not a perfect film without showing that. But I don't think Michael Mann ever makes perfect movies. I think there's always something in his movies that just kind of like feels off kilter.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not shit though.
You definitely not shit.
Yeah, definitely not shit.
Cool. We do have a question.
You know, just before we go off onto that, you know, one thing in the movie, like, is he starts seeing Miss UK, Yvette, and he's like, oh, I'm still with her, obviously, at the time of the filmmaking. He was with her until he died.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, we have one question. Rick Kidd at Rick J. Kidd. What films are you most looking forward to in 2020? For me, it's Tenet, No Time to Die, and Dune.
Pretty fucking solid list, that, to be fair. I might just copy that. Yeah, like Tenet is my one. In all fairness,
that's the biggie.
Yeah, like huge. Beyond that, I mean, you think of like films towards the end of the year, and I can't really think of what's even out. Like Christmas, there's no Star Wars. Avatar's not this year. You know, what are the award season ones going to be? What I mean, actually, I will say The French Dispatch, the new Wes Anderson film. Really looking forward to that. It's just a shame it's not 4 hours long as it was rumored it was going to be. I would have watched that. Yeah, but Tenet and The French Dispatch, and to be fair, No Time to Die for me.
What's your thoughts?
Just with ones that are coming soon, there's quite a few that I'm really looking forward to. Obviously, Tenet's not super soon, is it? But it's within the realms of being able to look forward to. I'm really, really, really looking forward to seeing Beautiful Day in the Neighbourhood. Antebellum, I'm looking forward to. And what's that? Fucking Kirsten Stewart one that's coming out. I'm quite looking forward to that as well.
Underwater?
Yeah. Queen and Slim. I'm looking forward to.
I'm really looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to not having to watch the trailer for it anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
And ones that billions of people have already seen. Obviously, things like Uncut Gems, I'm looking forward to finally seeing.
Next week.
The Lighthouse.
Yep.
Farewell.
Yeah, The Lighthouse was in my top 5 most anticipated of last year, so I didn't think I should mention it. But yeah, we'll be reviewing that next week, so.
Yeah, Tenet for me, obviously. Bill and Ted Face the Music.
Oh God, yeah.
Very much looking forward to that. And probably seeing Young Woman.
Does look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much a Martin movie, that, isn't it?
It very much is a Martin movie, that, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
That's the one
Indeed.
we have to watch. The Footbox.
High Life,
yeah.
Yeah.
Is that on anything? Is that being released?
Yeah.
Cinematically?
Yeah, I think it's on one of the streaming of services.
It's definitely available.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So, well, that was our show. Episode 332. Yes, get fucking right this time. So yeah, thank you very much for listening, guys.
Oh, baby horses.
Yes.
So
Go.
Matt, you know that advert, the Lloyd's Bank advert that I'm assuming they show it in all Cineworlds. They show it in ours, where there's the big horse and then there's the little horse, and they have to travel to meet the herd of horses.
Sure.
Yeah. So we watched that, and that was like, what? I was like, well, it's like a mother horse and like its foal going to meet like the rest of the herd. That's not what baby horses look like. Well, no, it is, Mark. No, that's like a small horse. It's a pony. Baby horses aren't born like fully formed like that. How do you think they're born then, Mark? Well, it's like running and stuff, so it can't be a baby horse. Like, you can tell that it's a foal because like it's got a really short mane and tail. They've just cut its hair. It's just a small horse. Baby horses aren't like that. Baby horses like that don't exist. Mark doesn't believe in baby horses.
What do you have to say in riposte, Mark?
I've never seen a baby horse.
I've pointed them out to you.
They're just small horses.
They are not.
I'm pretty sure they are.
But people can be small and be babies.
Babies can't walk.
Yeah,
But fucking hell, like other
how
animals.
do you compute lambs, Mark?
Other animals develop differently.
You don't see them in the wild. They keep them somewhere and then just bring them out fully formed.
No.
I just don't think you see baby horses.
So hang on, when horses are born, do you not think they're babies?
I just haven't quite worked out what happens there
In
yet.
response to, so what do you think they are like when they're born? The answer was, I've never really thought about it.
Nope, haven't. Don't see why I need to. Got too much else going on.
But the concept of them just being a smaller version of adult horses, in much the same way that baby humans are a smaller version of adult humans, just couldn't get through your head that, could you?
Still can't. I just can't work the science out of it.
I even like
You
googled it and showed him. Some
You
pictures.
can't work out the science.
I can't. It can't picture it.
I mean, it's literally there on screen.
That's just a small horse.
It's not
But
a small horse.
It's a small horse.
It's a baby horse.
That's not a baby horse. It's a small horse.
I mean, granted, you don't have toddler horses, and you don't have teenage horses, but they're very human things.
I just don't see it.
Yeah, you don't get like a stroppy teenage horse.
What? I bet you might do.
You don't go through an emo phase.
I don't know. I reckon
Horses look like they have emo phase.
Yeah, teenage horses can be right cunt specs. To be fair.
Yeah. If there's an animal out there that would be an emo, it'd be a horse.
Well, we do already have the fringe.
Yeah, they're the most emo looking motherfuckers out there. But like a toddler horse, that sounds fucking terrifying.
Well, that'd just be like a yearling.
What?
A year-old horse is called a yearling.
Fuck off. No, it's not. You're taking a piss at me now.
It fucking is.
A year-old horse is called a yearling.
Yeah.
Like when I had my beard and I called it a year because I've had it a year.
I mean, that was
And you said it was stupid, yeah. But a yearling, that's fine.
Yearling, noun, an animal, especially a sheep, calf, or foal that is a year old.
That back off.
I'm going to find a picture of a baby horse and blow your mind.
Yeah, you've tried before. They're just small horses.
Do you know what really confused him?
Mm.
Have you heard of a breed of horse called a falabella?
Can't say I have, but okay.
So basically they're miniature horses. And I found
Okay.
a falabella foal and showed him that, and that really fucking confused him. They're about the size of a cuddly toy.
Nah. What's that?
It's a foal, Mark. The baby horse. See, that's the mummy horse there on that bit.
Yeah.
And then that's the baby horse.
That's a dog in a wig.
It's not.
That's a fucking dog in a wig.
It's not.
Dog in a wig.
So yeah, Mark doesn't believe in baby horses.
No, I don't believe in them. I'm just not sure about them yet.
Very strange.
I disagree with you.
I mean, you're incorrect.
No. I'm always correct. I always come correct.
I mean, that's not true.
Yeah.
You don't believe in baby horses or closing your eyes to go to sleep.
The eyes thing still, I still don't agree with you on that one. Where can they listen to people can listen to more of us, Becky?
Everywhere.
For $2 a month.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a baby horse.
That's a baby Falabella horse.
That's a lovely horse. That is a baby horse.
That's a donkey.
That is not a donkey.
That's a small donkey.
Not allowed until the swim was long.
Oh!
Well, yeah, that's an actual normal sized horse's head.
That's not.
Oh my
That's
God.
just further away than that is.
It isn't. You are stupid. I love you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And on that, what are we covering next week, Ian?
That was very sweet. You're a fucking idiot. So I have a feeling it will be The Lighthouse and A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Woo!
Yep.
Finally.
Really looking forward to that. That's going to be a cracking show.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to.
Two, I'm assuming, very different movies.
Yeah. There's a lot I'm looking forward to about The Lighthouse, and a lot that's making me go, yeah.
I'm expecting it to fully batshit.
And A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, I'm looking forward to watching what I've been led to believe is just a really nice film.
That's the thing. It's apparently just lovely.
Yeah.
There's not much more to it than that, but it's lovely.
Yeah, if I watch that and there's a sting in the tail, then that might be it for me.
Do you remember like when the first word of it came out and everyone was like, fucking hell, they better not be trying to do an expose of Mr. Rogers, I'm going to riot.
Yeah, then it's come out.
No, it's just a really nice.
That they did try to do an expose of Mr. Rogers and just found out that he was a really nice man.
Not really
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Tom Hanks in that red sweater. Oh, I'm good. I'm kind of excited.
That does feel like the film I need right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're also watching the Unlimited Screen of Greed, is it?
We are indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might get to that. Kind of depends on my work schedule this week.
We might try and take in the last 10 minutes of turning.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Which we'll get to.
You should just go one night and just say, look, we were here when the alarm went off on Saturday. Would you mind if we just went in for the last 20 minutes?
I think we're just going to do that, aren't we? Yeah. Becky might have liked some free coffees.
Well, the man outside said we could have some.
I don't think he did say we could have some. He you said, maybe like some free coffees or something like that when he offered us free tickets.
And he laughed and walked away.
And we said, well, we're unlimited, so that doesn't really help us that much.
And then we went inside, didn't we? And the man on the coffee bit was like, if it was up to me, I'd just do it, but I'll have to get it authorised by a manager to put it through the till and screen. And I said, well, or you could just do it as wastage, couldn't you, and just pretend it spilt them. And he was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll do that. That guy is a hero.
Yeah. What I will say is, I thought that the Cineworld staff dealt with it really quite well, because it was a really odd situation.
They dealt with it well while dealing with it badly.
Oh yeah.
But the ways they were dealing with it badly were clearly because they've not been shown what to
do. If you were to mark them on safety and and sort of like from a business level, you go, we need to improve massively on that. On a personal level and well, when they dealt with it in terms of actual people to people, I thought they were dealt with it really well. By basically just saying, look, I'll be honest, we don't know what went on. We're supposed to get an alarm that goes off with us so we can prepare, and then the other alarm goes off. And just that our first alarm failed, and so the other alarm just went off.
Did you ever find out what it actually was for though?
Next we asked the coffee man, and I was like, has something just tripped it? And he was like, well, it's a really sophisticated system, so there's not really anything that could just accidentally trip it, so I don't really know.
Yeah, we're like, we just don't know what's happened.
He left it going, is there a fire raging somewhere that they've just not found? Or...
And then the movie didn't start for Grudge started 40 minutes late.
Did they take off the ads in the trailers at least?
They did, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The security guy came in and said, "Thank you very much, everyone, for your patience. The movie's going to start in about a minute. Hopefully."
No, hopefully this one works.
Hopefully this one works.
So obviously there were problems in other screenings.
I mean, to be fair, it was good of them to cut the ads and trailers at least, because it does save you a bit of time. It's just unfortunate it was for the fucking Grudge.
Yeah, there was a little bit of that.
Mm.
This is how much I disliked the Grudge. I went to the toilet twice.
Okay.
Twice.
Or it was 3.
It was twice.
Mm.
Partially
Yeah,
that.
you broke your cinema rule, didn't you?
I broke the cinema rule.
Two cinema rules.
2 cinema
It
rules.
doesn't have liquid if you know there's going to the cinema, which is very unhealthy for the entire day.
No, for 2 hours beforehand. No, for 5 hours beforehand, but the entire day, if it's the film I really, 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 really want to see.
Which is just unhealthy. And he absolutely won't drink alcohol if he's going to the cinema under normal circumstances. Obviously, it's different when we meet up, but yeah, we went for a couple of pints between the fire alarm and the Grudge, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Mm. Well, if I think 2Ps is allowed during the Grudge.
You didn't miss out Pivotal.
No.
I didn't at all. Right, and that's our show then.
I think it is.
Yes. Goodbye, good people.
Goodbye. Go play Doom.
I will go and re-download it now.
Fucking better ad.
Speak to you soon, man.
Bye.
Bye.
podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearePodsyndicate.com.